Weird.
We can't all make declarations of hatred at the same time. Hi, everybody.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
你好中国，我叫希娜，我爱更尊重中。石油上。
Alton, help me up onto his casket so I can dance on it.
I don't care.
But how did you ever find us?
Oh, easy. We just read the screenplay you left us. Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God!
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
I'll help you.
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Huh? Zappuccino.
All right, it is Thursday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for your favorite pop culture podcast of the week. It is time for Tooney Talk TV. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster, and I'm pleased to welcome you back to another week of fun-filled pop culture talk. Some of you might know it's been a rough week for me personally. I was in the hospital yesterday, but I am okay. I'm fine. I've been given a clean bill of health. People have been asking what happened, so I'll just let you guys know. I woke up yesterday. And I had some numbness on the side of my face, and I thought I could feel like some weakness in my arm and leg. So I thought I was having a stroke. It's a scary moment. So went to the hospital and got the full workup. I mean, got the CT scan, the MRI, echocardiogram that might have broken my ribs. But they told me that I am okay. So don't worry about me, guys. I am A-okay. I live to fight another day. They associated the numbness that I was feeling with just being sick for a couple weeks. So, but now I have a nice big hospital bill to pay. So that's fun. But you know what, guys, I've always said, if you feel off, if you feel strange, don't leave it to chance. Go get checked. Make sure you follow up on these things, because if God forbid something is wrong, the best thing you could possibly do is get it looked at. So, without any further ado, we got a lot to talk about this week. Rachel Zegler is being muted. There's Star Wars stuff. There's Baldoni and Blake Lively stuff. I mean, there's something for everybody in this week's show. So let's get the cast out here and start it off. Kevin Apollo, my friend.
My brother.
How are you?
This has also been a hard week here. The kids all have Coxsackie virus. Novi decided to have her sickness by binge watching all the Twilight movies, and has now moved on to Vampire Diaries.
What?
So I have been holing myself up in the basement as best I can.
Oh no! You know whose fault this is. You know who's been influencing her.
I've never been prouder. I'm so proud. I never watched Vampire Diaries. That one's her. She's branching out, but
yeah, but she's taking your lessons, and
she understands her queen. She gets it. It's Renesmee.
Goodness,
very fashion.
It's so fashion.
Oh gosh, I remember that. Oh, that was Ray came up with that, right?
That was
was Ray.
So fashion. I love that.
So fashion.
Oh my gosh, I love
Hi,
saying that
everybody.
now. Yeah. Hey, Trish. Martin Stone is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi. Buffy
Martin.
and if Buffy and Twilight had a baby that grew up and had a serious head injury, that would be Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But I'm excited for tonight, Martin. We actually have something about lost media tonight.
I'm excited.
Oh no.
Lost media that was found and then quickly lost again, and that might be for the betterment of everyone. Nolan Thunder is here, everybody. Hello, Nolan.
Hi, friends. If you're referring to the lost media, I think you are referring to, then I think that thing was better left in the trash can. Just being honest here.
I mean, it was bad. It was bad. But we will, we'll talk about it. We'll get there. It's not our first story, but it is, it's a big story that's happening this week. Lorne!
Hey, everybody.
Hello, my friend. Good to see you.
Yep, you too. Let's get rolling.
Yep.
Lorne's
All
honest.
right, guys. So there is a there's a thing going on with StreamYard right now where it's like where it hasn't been. Sometimes it's not showing the articles that we try to put up. So if that is the case, if that's what's happening, let me know when we start getting to the articles. If you just see a big empty space, well, then I'll just read the articles out, and that'll be how we do it. But I will say also, Trish hair on point. That is.
I just got a haircut, so thank you.
All right. So as you guys know, this show is made for you and financed by you, and we depend on your super chats to keep the show going along. So let's get to him. Chef Eddie, member for 3 months, says Lauren is watching Snow White. How much for Section 31?
Oh no, I'll never let that happen to Lauren. I care too much for him to do that.
But you didn't care enough to stop Snow White?
I was too late. I came in way too late in the feed to stop that. That was in motion by the time I signed on.
Wait. Are we torturing Lauren again? Is that what's happening?
Pro left a voicemail on my phone at work. It came from an unknown number, and it tries to auto-transcribe what was said. He was so excited it said, you, now you must watch, and that was it. And I thought it was just, I thought it was a malfunctioning robot call, And so I ignored it for a while. And then I listened to the message, and it's Pro telling me that he has very good news for me that I'm going to be very excited about. And that a member on the live stream has pledged $400 to me. The only catch is I have to watch Snow White. Now, I don't know if it's packing protons, by the way. If you guys see him in the chat, just let him have it. I know they did this to Valiant Renegade a couple of weeks ago, where I don't know if it was packing protons and paid for that too, but I heard that Valiant was going to have to watch this movie, and somebody gave me a heads up, direct messaging me at my Twitter account saying, "Hey, just to give you a warning, they're paying bounties to have you guys watch this show." And I said, I am not watching Snow White.
Apparently
But
you
now-
are.
I was just
but
going to
now
say, well.
I cannot be bought unless someone tries to buy me.
Yeah, it's like, we've already determined what you are. Now we're just haggling over the price, So apparently people really do like to watch me watch things that I just despise. So
yeah,
now that we have established what we are, what I am, get your checkbooks out, folks, because this is what I do.
That's it now. Not for free ever again.
He's a classy dame. Let's see. What we got going on here? Ewan Cumia gifted 1 at Tooney Town TV membership. Thank you very much, Ewan. Packing Protons for $2 says, hello, feel better. 3D scans for free offer. I will take you up on that, my friend. Those 3D prints that you showed me are really good. John Williams for $4.99. Dave Meltzer says, according to my sources, Marvin will be in charge of a website called That Parks Place. What, Brian? This isn't the wrestling channel? Yeah, no, it's not. My goodness, you guys, and trying to insert wrestling into this Chaz of Tuesday is not enough for you all. Yeah,
honestly, I thought we'd get some crossover with the John Cena thing. That's bled over into regular news.
It really has. We can talk about that in a second. Regina Sharp for $5 says, well, they say that it's
Glom Gold, Glom Gold, Glom Gold, Glom Gold.
Show with a bunch of other people who don't matter. Yeah, it's Glom Gold's world. We're all just living in it. Right. Regina Sharp for $5 also says, on an earlier stream today, they fixed the bug by playing an animation with sound and then resharing. Seemed to work. Okay, we'll have to try that. Cool. And Packing Protons for $2 says, blame Valiant Renegade. He put the first dare out. Well,
I want to backtrack to the John Cena thing.
Yeah.
Couldn't we all tell that he was going to take a heel turn with the McDonald's promos?
Well, you know what, Lawrence? Some of us could tell. Some of us called it. Some of us rather loudly didn't. Some of us called people psychopaths for thinking it was going to happen.
He's going to make you rue the day you said it, Kevin.
I warned him.
I was wrong once in 20 years.
I love this one. He's like, I'm so great. It was one time.
Yeah, right. You know what? I have to switch over to the Tooney Town wrestling thing for 1 second because I have to play. I have to play this clip.
Yeah, so there it is.
That was a good match.
John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and moves on to WrestleMania.
I just thought of when we were watching the Rumble, and Dis was like, I mean, that would be like saying, well, John Cena's got to win the last Elimination Chamber. And it's like, he did.
He did. I'm telling you guys, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Because involving The Rock in that story also, with The Rock Cena history, I don't know. I feel like
The Rock will screw Cena over.
No, I don't think so. I think I don't know.
Cena is not going to heel turn, you psychopath.
If he turns heel in the next 11 months or whatever the hell it is, I'm going to dance on your grave.
A few moments later.
In your face! Kevin Apollo. Oh, it's sweet. Oh, my victory is sweet.
And there you have
you
it, folks.
dullard, you dummy.
Wait, hold on. I've got that.
You dullard, you dummy.
We also got a 50 in the chat.
Oh, do we? Regina Sharp for $50. 1,000 years from now, they will find an orange monument of a puppet. No name for the figure will be found, but translating the alien, people will find it simply says, I told you, Kev. You guys don't understand just how long I've been waiting for a moment like this, because my dear friend, like there's a story of Vince McMahon with Bruce Pritchard where like he's so sure of something and Bruce Pritchard proves him wrong, and there's just a moment of silence, and then Vince goes, F you, Bruce. F you. And the second I heard that story, I'm like, oh my God, that's you. And we both agreed that that's him. Because he doesn't have to be right, guys, but he's never wrong. So it was a good moment for me. I enjoyed that moment. All right. Chef Eddie from $5 says, Lauren will turn heel like John Cena. It's all about the money. Yeah. Hollywood Lauren Connor.
Well, honestly, that's true. Money talks, and I do love money.
Next week he's going to come with a beard dyed black.
Yeah. Packing Protons for $5 says my lead knowledge of wrestling is I have Tom Pettingale helping out WPLJ. That was interesting. Marvin might know Scott and Todd. Yeah, of course I know Scott and Todd.
I know Scott and Todd. I mean, I know of them. Never met him, but
Didn't Sean Mooney have a thing too?
Yeah, Sean Mooney was a local broadcaster on WOR9 for years.
Regina Sharp, thank you again for that 50. That was wonderful. I will have to play you some kind of clip. I'll just, you know what? I'll play the old classic.
Shields up.
I just love that clip. I love the nonchalance of it. All right, so let's get to our first story here, guys.
Before we do that, I have a question though about wrestling.
Sure.
So I've felt for years that John Cena, he wears the costume, like dresses like a child because children are were his audience, and so you play to the crowd. Now that he's a heel turn, right now that he's turned heel, does he no longer dress like a 9-year-old?
I hope so. I've been saying that the thing we need with heel John Cena is a complete betrayal of everything John Cena has ever been, and that means suits, that means trunks and tights. Like he's got to go complete 180 in order to really make this work. All right, so we have our first story this week, and it is our title story this week. It is about our old friend Rachel Zegler. So guys in the chat, tell me if you can see the. Can you guys see the story that we're sharing right now? Nolan, is it?
Yeah, it's on the stream. I have it in another tab.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, so Disney has canceled the UK Snow White premiere amid backlash and fears of negative Rachel Zegler press will limit her to tightly controlled press events. So Disney's live-action Snow White is shaping up to be one of the studio's most troubled releases in recent memory, and now a major red flag has appeared. The company has canceled its planned Snow White UK premiere, reportedly due to concerns over backlash and controversy. Instead of a star-studded event in London, Disney will hold a small number of tightly controlled press events, which is an unusual move for a film with a $200 million+ budget and a massive marketing campaign. Now, that's just the budget. The actual expenses on this thing are probably up almost $400 million after all the reshoots. So the decision suggests that Disney fully understands how negatively the film has been received. So why? According to sources, Disney is concerned about a backlash tied to the changes made to the film, as well as the public perception of lead actress Rachel Zegler. Instead of the usual high-profile Snow White UK premiere, which would have taken place in Square, however you say that, the studio has scaled down media appearances, carefully selecting only a handful of press outlets to cover the film. This suggests that Disney does not want to risk open-ended media interactions that could lead to more controversy. If Snow White were a highly anticipated blockbuster, then Disney would be doing everything possible to build excitement. Instead, they're avoiding potential negative reactions from audiences, which implies they know the public sentiment isn't in their favor. And then, of course, there's Rachel Zegler, and there she is right now, folks. Rachel Zegler. Guys, they have no faith in this, do they? Like, none. Why would
Even
they?
if they did manage to cobble something out of it, the publicity that's been around it has been so pervasive. And I keep going back to those mirror, mirror on the wall videos with the music. I mean, they're never going to shake that. That has become so popular and such a cultural meme that even if the movie, if they manage to cobble something out of it, it's not going to matter. It's never going to stand up to the original, and it's always going to be mocked. I don't think it's really about the movie. It's about Rachel Zegler. She is just, and no matter how tightly they try to control these events, she hasn't been able to govern her mouth. And I struggle to see how they're going to make her do that.
Yeah, I agree. Lauren. It is, it's definitely, it's a big, it's a big issue. This movie is going to do so terribly. I mean, they are rumoring $48 million of opening weekend domestically. That is going to be absolutely insane.
Does that even knock out the craft services budget?
Probably not. Probably not. You know what they're doing now, what I've been seeing on X lately is they've been, instead of doing like press, they've been putting out these like Rachel Zegler like vignettes. Did you guys see this? It's like her singing Waiting on a Wish, but like acoustically, or like her in Tokyo promoting the movie. But like it's like very controlled, like Disney what do you call it? Like hold on, I'm trying to find the actual video that I can show. Here we go. Rachel Zegler's Tokyo Adventure. There it is. Hold on, I'm gonna play this for you guys. Go And Nolan, can you confirm that is on the screen right now?
It's got a little bit of stream delay. Give me a few seconds. I don't know.
Sure thing.
It is not on the stream right now.
Of course it's not. All right, so let's try the thing.
You can't keep getting away with it!
And Nolan, how about now?
See, give it about 5 seconds.
And let me know.
Well, for our audience, imagine Rachel Zegler on a elevator, pushed into the corner, wearing a shawl made from Spider-Man webbing.
I think she's actually wearing a sheep.
I don't understand what is going on with this StreamYard that it won't. Hold on, let me try something. Let me try one more thing. Let me try to stop sharing, and then I'll play a clip. And you know what? Which clip am I going to play?
I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved.
And now we'll try to share it again. So let's see. Come on, StreamYard. Can I get over your glitch?
Show that glitch who's boss.
And Nolan, what do we got?
Wait a second.
We got it?
Survey says, we got her.
Ha-ha!
Oh, yeah.
All right, Rachel Zegler.
We are in Tokyo. We are promoting Snow White. It's my first time here in Japan. Everyone is so hospitable and wonderful.
I'm sure the second you show... By the way, all those Japanese ladies dressed as Snow White look more like Snow White than her.
True.
If you ask certain people, they're Snow White adjacent. I'm proud of that joke.
Wonderful. And we're going to go on a Tokyo adventure. Will you join me? Let's go.
Man, the last time a threat like this hit Tokyo, it was Godzilla.
That was so much fun. We just performed on Day Day, which is a Japanese television program here in Tokyo. Sang Waiting.
I really hope it's that game show from SNL where you have to like cut your fingers off when you get the questions wrong. Chris Farley sitting there going, "Good Lord!"
You on fire tonight, bro.
Thank you. That's what happens when you think you're gonna die. You start appreciating the little moments.
First time for the public, so it's really amazing to finally be sharing it with you all. Little girl, little lonely one.
Ew, gross. Hold on, we're gonna skip past her singing.
JJ, would you say that we are best friends?
No, I'm sure JJ would not say that. Good Lord.
You are my best friend on this trip.
Oh, look at the look that guy gives her. That is the look that all of America has given Rachel Zegler. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I anticipated fear. I got disgust.
Yeah.
On this trip. That's a yes. Hey, everybody. I'm here with Sakura, who is the Japanese voice of Snow White.
And I'm going to tell her how horrible I think of a job she does. She looks more like Snow White than Rachel Zegler again.
And tonight, we have a fan event here in Tokyo, and we're going to get to sing Waiting on a Wish together.
She's so mad that another person is singing this song right now. I guarantee it.
She is so incredible, and getting to sing this with her and listen to the lyrics in Japanese, it's so amazing. And I'm very happy to be here with her. So we'll see you tonight.
But we're not actually going to show her singing.
Wondering, will she appear?
Ugh. Just look how she just exudes narcissism in everything she does.
Will it be forever here? Wait.
I gotta get through this song crap.
Giggle mug scallywag.
Okay, because they're gonna copyright strike us if we play this music. So, but yeah, there you guys go. Rachel Zegler takes Tokyo. This is what they're doing instead of like the press room where she would sit down and the press would actually ask her questions.
This is the worst thing we've delivered to Tokyo that wasn't sent by Jim Doolittle.
The second you started that sentence, I'm like, I know where he's going with this.
Oh. I'm a little bit proud of that one.
Yeah, no, you did a good job. You did a good job there, Martin. My goodness. So geez, play Piper. Yeah, you know what? You think that people don't appreciate the Roddy Piper clip that Dis played the other day, but I feel like we need a palate cleanser here. I don't have any Bo news this week, but I just wanted to play the clip.
He's just been coming with thirst traps for the last 5 days.
I know it's been annoying. I'm like, come on, attack Marvel. Stop it. No one cares about you with your shirt off.
Wait, are we sure about that?
I mean, nobody here does, I hope. Unless Trish.
I mean, no, not particularly, but I don't think he'd care if I did anyway, so.
Yeah, no, you're not his target audience.
No.
Nolan is intrigued.
Maximum. Never mind, I won't say that.
So here's the thing. Do we think that they're actually going to do a legit press scrum? Now, I think that you're eventually going to get her. She'll do Kimmel. She'll do Colbert. She'll do the shill talk shows that will just parrot whatever Disney wants them to parrot, especially Kimmel. But I don't think you're going to get her sitting in a room with a bunch of reporters asking her questions, because the second a non-friendly reporter baits her into asking a question, that's it. The world will explode.
We've got a 50.
There's no upside.
Regina Sharp for another $50. Thank you very much, my friend. So that brings us. There we go. Says, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Nobody wants Zegler on them. Nobody. Yeah, no, not at all. But no, Kimmel and Colbert want her on them. I guarantee you, because they are just vapid, doughy morons. I gotta play another clip now for that, because that was incredibly generous. Thank you, Regina Sharp.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
That's because you guys all have the power level of over 9,000, and we appreciate you on this show. So, yes, Regina Sharp, you are 100% right. Nobody wants Zegler involved in anything that they're working on. So, guys, you know what? I'm going to say it. If we reach $500 in Super Chats tonight, I will see Snow White. There we go. Because I can be bought as well, but not for as cheap as Lorne.
You're even more shameless than I am.
I make no bones about it, my friend. I'm for sale.
I didn't even advertise. I just got thrust into this. You're outright going, hey, I could be bought.
I can be. Oh my gosh, could you imagine this? Put Zegler in a dunk tank.
My 9-year-old just stepped in here and asked me what we're talking about tonight, and I said, the new Snow White movie. She goes, oh.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, guys, the Snow White is in a lot of trouble. Rachel Zegler is abysmal. And I don't. And here's the thing: the problem is I've been seeing that the what do you call it? The boycotts for this movie are coming from everywhere. That's the major thing. So obviously, a lot of this is an issue that comes down to the Middle Eastern conflict stuff, where she did whole Free Palestine thing, and Gal Gadot is an Israeli veteran. So the anti-Israel people are boycotting it because of Gal Gadot, and the pro-Israel people are boycotting it because of Rachel Zegler. So like everyone is boycotting this movie.
Well, so maybe this will bring peace. They can agree on one thing. What else can they agree on?
That was one of the lines from one of those songs, was that like Disney will actually create world peace by making something that the world just hates as a whole.
That's like Palpatine's version of peace, though. It's like, at last we will have peace.
Yes.
With that sinister smile. It's just, you don't get peace through evil. I don't care how you try and do it.
Oh my
What
God.
is the one thing we all hate in life? Rachel Zegler.
What did I do?
You just sent me the greatest thing ever.
Thank Dr. John for that one.
Yeah. You guys see this?
Here we have Rachel Zegler as Squirrel Girl.
Can we see it, Nolan? Is it on the screen?
Yes, it is on right now.
Okay, yes. Rachel Zegler as Squirrel Girl in Marvel.
No.
Oh, I never thought I'd say this, but poor Squirrel Girl. She doesn't deserve that.
Dang!
Don't encourage this.
Oh, no. There have been reports. I reported on it that Marvel wanted her for something. That Marvel was in talks with her. I don't think that's happening anymore. But by the way, guys, if you saw that and you're not happy about it, just remember.
Oh, I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved.
No regrets. No regrets whatsoever.
It's just if they were to put her in Marvel, who's the most infuriating character they could make her? Like Rogue?
Oh, don't stop with that evil. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
It'd be kind of hot.
Wolverine.
Sydney Sweeney.
They could make him the new Wolverine.
Silver Sable.
Silver Sable. Oh no. She's the whitest woman on the planet.
She already picked the whitest princess.
It's very true. That's very, very true. I'm sorry. I'm just still. I'm patting myself on the back still because Snow White adjacent was one of my better lines. But all right, we got some super chats to get to. I don't know where Trish just went, but she'll be back. AEW Neckbeards showing up for $2 Canadian. It just says Marv with a bunch of hello Neckbeard. I love you, buddy. You're a great guy. BPE dropping in with the BPE special, the $20 and no message. I love it. It's the easiest super chat there is to read. Packing Protons says for $2. Still say 45 million 3-day opening, and Lorne VR and Force of Light all have to go see it now. That's very true. Just 158. Regina Sharp for $5 says, just imagine the Jonas Brothers skits from South Park, people. That's Zegler right now. Yeah, it's Mickey Mouse. What's all this about not wearing the purity rings? Huh? I don't do a good Mickey Mouse. I do a great South Park Mickey Mouse. Oh boy, I just love flying all the way to Colorado to listen to your problems.
Huh? I can't unhear that now.
Thank you, Regina Sharp. That brings us to 163. Yeah. Packing Protons for $2 says she's wearing a 90-year-old grandma sweater. She is indeed.
And 19-year-old hooker pumps.
Yes, that's true. Packing Protons again for $2 says, I hope you have Macho Man Dexter's Lab clips too. I do not have those, but that sounds awesome, whatever it is. Liquid Fox for $10 says, third month with no cigarette. It's very difficult and frustrating, but it pales in comparison to what poor Lauren has to go through. Just watch The Last Crusade after Snow White, Lauren. It'll heal you.
Hey, Liquid Fox, good job. Keep up the good work,
great.
man. I know it's a very hard fight.
Amazing job, Liquid Fox. We are all very proud of you there because, smoking kills, and we want to have you around for a long time. So absolutely great job. And yes, Lauren, are you going to have a palate cleanser after Snow White?
It's not a bad idea. I did tell my son that I had to apologize in advance because I'm supposed to have him in a couple of weeks. So I told him, if I have to go, you have to go.
No!
We'll see if that actually comes to fruition, but that's my plan right now. I ain't suffering through this alone. There's no way I'm going to the ticket counter and saying, yes, one for Snow White, please.
Lauren, when I think of father-son bonding films, this is not the one I think of.
No, it's not the one I think of either.
Why would you do that to your poor son?
Packing Protons for 5 says, it doesn't work that way, Marvin. You can't ask for it. You have to proclaim that you hate something first. Reese Snow White. I do hate it. I've done 10 videos about how much I hate it.
Marvin hates everything.
Right. I do hate everything. Dags has become a member of the Tooney Town TV channel. Hey, Nolan, on the in the YouTube feed, can you see what level they became member at?
Let me see. I can find out. Give me just a second. He became a Tooney Town resident.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, Dags. Welcome to being a Tooney Town resident. The artist formerly known as John Cuck asks for $1.99. Says, from Gal's point of view, Rachel wished her death. That is true. That is what happened. So now Chef Eddie for $2 says Lauren must show us the popcorn bucket as proof. Do you have to buy the popcorn bucket?
There were no stipulations made, but I'll say I don't actually usually get popcorn at the theater. Sometimes I do.
You don't?
My go-to is a hot dog.
You sneak in
Really?
chocolate into the theater
All right.
secretly?
All right, you know what? This brings us to an interesting point. I want to know what everyone's preferred movie theater snack is, because for me it's popcorn. I'm a classicist. Popcorn, and I mean I go to town on that butter. Like I make sure that I get the little box where you can like to carry like multiple things, and so I pour half the popcorn out, and then I put the butter in like the middle, and then I pour it back in, and then I pour it on the top, because that makes you get more butter throughout the popcorn.
So let me give you a tip that my kid taught me, because we do get popcorn sometimes. The reason I don't usually get popcorn is because I make it special at home and they don't have the stuff I need at the theater. But if you want to do it right, you got a bag of popcorn, you got the butter dispenser, go get a drinking straw and attach it to the butter thing. And then you can just stick the straw in the sack and vary your elevation of the sack so that you get butter evenly distributed throughout.
That is brilliant, Lauren.
Clever.
Your son is a genius.
He's pretty smart sometimes.
That's amazing. I love that. Ewan Cumia gifted another Tooney Town TV membership. Thank you very much, Ewan. Aubrey Crown gifted 5 Tooney Town TV memberships. Man, that is awesome. Thank you so very much. Awesome, guys. You guys are being so generous tonight, and it really helps the show. It helps me. It helps everyone to be able to put on this show for you guys each and every week. Packing Protons for another 2 says Wilton wants Zegler as the next Indiana Jones. I'm sure Wilton does. But thankfully for all of us, Wilton is not in charge of Hollywood. Wilton is a troll. That is what he does. Going Shogi gifted 1 Tooney Town TV membership, which brings us for our total for tonight up to 233. All bee booty bees and bacon with big bees for $5 says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half Shell Turtle Power. What an excellent use of $5, my friend. That brings us to 238. We're almost halfway to me watching Snow White. So Jonas J. Campbell for $2 says more super chats for Lauren to go see Snow White. Oh, Lauren, you might have to get the you might have to get the popcorn bucket now.
You know what's interesting is that besides
oh,
Packing Protons, somebody else donated $100 for snacks. I don't know if that's really going to go to me or not, but if it does, I will make use of it.
with the popcorn bucket, or just with $100 worth of snacks?
If they have the popcorn bucket here, I don't know for sure if they do, but I'll find out.
I'm just saying, if you have $100 worth of snacks, then you can get yourself 2 popcorns and 1 soda, probably, because that's movie theaters now. And Regina Sharp for $5 is child mistreatment, Lauren. Good job. The pain will bring you together in hate. You're at least taking your son out to a nice dinner before that, right?
Use your destructive feelings, boy. No,
Get him better than a nice dinner. Take him to the toy store or something, like comic book store. Do that.
Why do you guys have all the sympathy for my son, but glee for me?
Because he is an unwilling victim in this. He did not sign up for this.
I'm an unwilling victim in this?
No, you put yourself out there, Lauren. You've asked for this.
I did not.
You made yourself delightfully entertaining, and now you have to live with the cost of that.
See, this is why I never developed a personality.
God, I wish I'd thought of that.
All right, guys, we're gonna Really, Trish? Really?
I hate
bad
this
enough
new
you
gimmick.
drop.
I hate it.
What, that I hit the theme music and then
No, that my technology just refuses to play nice with me. I have no guarantees I will stay. I don't know. So
I hope you do, my friend.
Me too.
The audience, I think a lot of the audience would leave.
Oh my god, stop.
I know, seriously, like the other channel makes demands your presence when we do the live streams.
I try, I try.
I'm picturing like a WWE match, where they have like Trish's face on signs. It's like, we want Trish.
Oh my god. I'd be horrified. Giant head face. Ugh.
Cardboard cutout.
Oh.
Lord, I think Jonas got gifted a membership, which is funny. I don't know why I'm so fun. I don't know why I'm so tickled by that, but I am. All right, so Kevin Apollo, what is your go-to movie theater snack?
So I don't do popcorn anymore because I worked in a movie theater for a really long time, and just I can't eat popcorn unless the kids are not eating their popcorn. And I'm not going to waste all that money because it's like $70. But because I go to a bougie movie theater, I will get a double cheeseburger with curly fries and a churro.
What kind of is it? Like a dine-in theater?
Yeah, it's in one of the AMC.
Okay, yeah.
Churro's a nice option. That's nice.
That is a nice option. Yeah, that is bougie. That is bougie, my friend. Yeah, it's just for me, it's popcorn and a large soda, and then the wife and I just share both.
So I
Trish,
want to ask, since this has been brought up, how does everybody like their popcorn? Because I make mine special.
I mean,
explain.
butter.
I just put it in the microwave and hit the popcorn button.
You guys don't do anything special with your popcorn?
What
I mean, I like
possibly do to
cheese
popcorn?
popcorn, like cheddar cheese popcorn. I don't make it or anything.
All right, here's what you do. You do cheddar corn, and you hit it with some Johnny seasoning salt and cayenne pepper, and you shake that stuff up. That stuff is amazing. You
That
want
actually
popcorn?
sounds really good.
This is the way you do it.
I pop mine in coconut oil and salt it, butter it.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys are connoisseurs over here.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll buy a bag from somewhere and just eat it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually pitched to Pro because I thought it would be something fun for the shop, is that if we could make some kind of a partnership with like a popcorn distributor where we could do like personality branded flavored popcorn. I thought that would be a fun thing.
And then we could release Poplorn.
The pun.
That one is Marvin's
Yes.
fault.
Good night, Lauren.
Lauren, you should be honored. I'd be honored.
Guys,
Out of here.
all it takes is one really scary day and a trip to the hospital to recharge my batteries.
I think you beat Snow White and Jason with that one.
He's really gone. It's all right. No one's ever really gone.
Killed him, the poor man.
No one's ever really gone.
Can we go to Jonas?
Can we go to Jonas?
Breaking down
what you do is you take the kernels, plant them, grind them into meal, and make tortillas. Cut them, fry them, and put taco meat on them.
Oh, love tacos.
Oh wait, that's
Or
nachos.
nachos. My brain's just like tacos, burritos. I love Mexican food.
Oh, I love
It
Mexican
still
food.
makes me hungry. I feel like food comes up often enough that I'm always like, I'm hungry.
Well, that brings me to ask you, Trish. What is your go-to food for movie theater?
I mean, I'll enjoy a good popcorn. I kind of like cookie dough balls. Like,
Those
I'll
are good.
get
I have gotten those on
myself-
occasion.
I'll get myself a box of those, but I'm not much of a snacker while I eat. And I also haven't been to a movie theater in like at least 2 years. So
It also depends on which one I go to, because there's a Regal that I sometimes go to if I want to get if I want to do like a 4DX showing, and they have completely different snacks than AMC. So what was that, Lauren? Were you about to say something?
Be sure to see your doctor if you suffer from cookie dough balls.
He's not ready to come. He's not ready to come back yet, but he had to get that pun in.
don't ruin my movie theater candy with your gross jokes, Lauren.
All right,
Cookie
Martin
balls are
Stone,
doing you.
what is your go-to movie theater snack?
Popcorn and bunch of crunch.
Butter crunch.
It's a classic.
That's interesting.
What is Bunch of Crunch?
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
It's Nestle's Crunch Bar, but little bite-sized pieces.
Like little, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Delightful.
Nolan, what about you?
So I used to go a lot for popcorn back in the day, and buttery, mind you, but I had this problem where I never finished the dang popcorn. I spent way too much money on it. So I used to just get the big drink with the free flow thing where you can just pick all the different flavors you get. And I like to get like the mini Reese Cups things they do where you can get like them in a bunch and stuff. I like to go for chocolate these days. It's just a fun experience, and I like watching a movie and not getting dehydrated from all the freaking salt in the popcorn. It's fun.
A drink is the last thing I do. I'm like, I ain't getting up.
Oh no! Every movie, Trish, I always have to leave halfway. I wish they had like the Monty Python intermission, like in the middle of it, because I always miss some part of the movie. I try to give like a serious review after, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe it was a plot hole, maybe I just missed 5 minutes of the dang movie. I don't know.
I was in the bathroom,
Oh my goodness, these conversations we get into on this show, I love it. No, but I will occasionally I will occasionally get like those little ice cream, I think they're called dibs or dips or something like that, where they're like
the Dippin' Dots.
It's like no, not the Dippin' Dots. Like dibs are like it's like a cube of ice cream covered. It's almost like mini Klondike bars, like little bite-sized Klondike bars, and I really like those. So
I don't like the chocolate on Klondike bars, like the coating. Maybe the Dibs one is better, but I don't like the chocolate that coats Klondike bars, which is a very specific thing not to like. But like the ice cream is fine. Like the ice cream is fine, but
it's like the ice cream equivalent of the Easter Bunny chocolate.
Cadbury cream eggs.
What's a good call?
Oh no, the cheap Easter Bunny stuff.
I know what you mean.
Oh.
Hollow shell Easter bunnies.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking of in the foil.
You get this big giant egg, and you're all excited to bite into it, and then it's just completely hollow. It's like a childhood. Sucked. No, I'm kidding. I had a nice childhood. I don't even want to put that evil on my parents. All right. Well, it is time to talk a little Star Wars stuff. Because,
I came back just in time.
Just in time. I'm really glad you're here for this, Trish, because the unaltered original 1977 theatrical cut of Star Wars appeared on a Roku app called Cinema Box this week. The entire app then vanished from the Roku service. Now, since this article was published, I believe the app has returned, just sans 1977 Star Wars. This is the original unaltered. Go ahead.
It hadn't yesterday. If it appeared today, then that's news to me.
What, the app?
Yeah.
So I believe the app's like the website was still up. But just without, but I don't think it's returned to Roku. No, I think they broke the Roku rules and have to pay the price. So the original unaltered 1977 theatrical cut of Star Wars, where Han shot first, appeared briefly on a Roku app this week before it and the entire app were taken down. For decades, fans of the Star Wars have pleaded for the original theatrical cut of the 1977 classic to be made available on streaming platforms. Yet, despite Disney's ownership of the franchise, the unaltered version without the A New Hope subtitle or the controversial changes made in later releases remains elusive. However, for a brief moment, a solution seemed to emerge from an unexpected source. A report from Men's Journal revealed the original 1977 cut appeared on a Roku app called Cinema Box. The version was completely free of the modifications made in subsequent special feature editions, including the infamous change in which Han Solo shot his blaster after Greedo. For purists, it was a dream come true until it suddenly vanished. By Monday evening, the Cinema Box app was no longer available on Roku. A user on the Roku help forums asked about its disappearance, prompting an official response from the Roku community team. The Roku team said, please note this channel is no longer available on the Roku streaming platform. For reference, you can visit our Roku channel store website. So no further explanation was provided, but of course the timing is impossible to ignore. While there's no confirmation that Disney was directly involved, I mean, come on, they were definitely involved. Was this simply a case of a third-party app overstepping its boundaries, or did Disney step in to ensure that the original version of Star Wars remains locked away? But now, here's the thing. For years, fans have blamed Disney for refusing to release the original Star Wars cut, but we forget that the true battle started long before Disney acquired Lucasfilm, because the real force, pun intended, behind keeping the theatrical version hidden has always been George Lucas himself. Now, Lucas has made the first move to bury the original version when he released special editions in 1997, altering key scenes and adding additional digital effects that many felt diminished the original film's charm. By the early 2000s, Lucas made it clear that he considered the altered versions to be the definitive editions of the films, going so far as to even say the theatrical cuts, quote, no longer existed. Despite owning the rights, Lucas refused to make the original version widely available. Even in 2008, when the theatrical cuts were added as DVD bonus features, they were presented in poor quality, leading many to believe that the move was intentional, discouraging fans from wanting them at all. And then many have also surmised that the reason why Disney has never tried to cash in on the releasing the original cut is because it might have been a thing in the contract with George that stated that they couldn't do it, because he has been so adamant that people not watch the original cut of this movie. Lauren, what say you?
That's actually my belief. I'm pretty sure that would have been a contractual stipulation of the sale. This has always been a weird point for me, though, because I believe once you release the product to the audience, it's in the audience's hands. I don't think as the auteur that you should be dictating to the audience what they can see. On the other hand, I understand that Lucas believes the original cut of the movie did not live up to his vision. And I'm one of the weird people who actually does prefer the special edition. There are things that I think should be taken out, but I don't think that the original trilogy could stand next to the prequel trilogy and have it feel like a complete saga, because effects wise they don't line up. I would definitely take out the Han shooting scene, especially. I'd take out the Darth Vader I would take out some of the stuff that they did, like in the latest version on the Blu-rays. I think when they're approaching Jabba's palace and they make the door way bigger, that always seemed weird. Blinking Ewoks also creeped me out, but I would never want to undo the Mos Eisley enhancements or the Death Star trench run in A New Hope. You can't deny those shots are way more dynamic and they look a lot better than the original model work. And I hate to say that because I love practical effects. So I kind of straddle both sides here. I understand why people would want to see the original theatrical cut. I think that it was a mistake for Lucas to go so hard against it, but I also understand why he feels that way about what is his signature movie series.
Well, you know what, Lauren, I'm actually with you on this. Like, that is my exact take on this as well. I feel the special editions accentuated a lot of things. I think adding Ian McDiarmid into Empire Strikes Back, for example, was a great idea. I think putting Hayden Christensen at the end of the end of Return of the Jedi was a good thing. Redubbing over Boba Fett's voice with Tamara Morrison. As much as that pained me in the beginning, I realized it doesn't make much sense now that they made Boba Fett a clone. Yeah, to me, it makes a decent amount of sense to do that. But then there was some like Greedo shooting first, and like that weird cut where Han like dodges it, which was so hacky. I like the Jabba scene they added into New Hope.
See, now I like that scene, but I also understand it's just a rehash of the Greedo scene. It gives you exactly the same information. It doesn't add anything, but I am glad that it was put back, and just because. Yeah. I always wanted to see it, and I love that it's there.
My favorite addition to the special editions was a $50 super chat in the chat.
Yes, absolutely. Regina Sharp saying it'd be like the end of the Dark Crystal. Oh no, it's the original release, and the old retired executives shoot their I-beams at the new executive Skeksis. Yeah, that would basically be what it is like, my friend. My favorite thing about it is that, like, that George would lay up at night, like staring at the ceiling in his house, just being like, the Ewoks, they don't blink. I have to make them blink.
Why don't the Ewoks blink?
They look at you with those eyes, those doll's eyes.
Old and black.
Right. We are
okay. So there's a comment here from Ninja Master 227 that I want to address. He said there are some scenes that just don't need to be there, though. What does Biggs talking with Luke before the Death Star run add? I don't know if you're talking about immediately before the Death Star run or the scene that actually got cut that has not been reinserted.
With them on Tatooine.
Right. So if you ever listen to the Star Wars radio dramas, there's a lot of those cutscenes that get put back in. You have to understand, 20th Century Fox was very nervous about Star Wars, and they did not like the fact that Luke didn't show up until about 20 minutes into the picture. So they mandated that they actually have additional scenes that introduce Luke as a character at the beginning of the movie. And if you've ever seen promotional photos, there's some scenes with him out by the moisture evaporators wearing a bucket hat. That's from those scenes. And the way it originally opened was that Luke was out repairing a moisture evaporator at his uncle's behest, and he happens to see this space battle going on up above, and it's the battle between the Star Destroyer and Leia's Corellian Corvette. And he gets all excited, he abandons his work, and he goes out to Tashi Station to meet all of his friends, which included a couple of friends called Deke and Wormy, and Fixer and Cammy, who was Fixer's girlfriend. And they're all kind of the popular kids hanging out. Luke is the nerd. And he's telling them about this space battle that he just saw out there, and they all need to come and see. And they all roll his eyes because Luke's constantly seeing space battles. And by the time they get out there to go look at it, it's already stopped. There's just two ships up in the sky, and they say it's probably just a tanker refueling a freighter. It's no big deal, and they all go inside. And they're kind of making fun of him. But then Biggs shows up. And Biggs was Luke's best friend, and he had gone away to the Imperial Academy. He's now back on leave after graduating. And holy cow, Photon Empress.
Whoa, Photon Empress with $500 super chat says Snow White, deal with it. Oh my God, now
I need to start taking my shirt off now. What the heck?
Oh my God, Photon Empress, thank you so much. That is amazing.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Wow, Photon Empress.
Ooh.
I have no words. That was just incredibly generous. And now I have to go see Snow White. Hold on.
Photon, you're amazing.
You really
you
are
amazing.
So amazing that John Cena has to apologize for
你
it.
好，中国，这是叫西纳，我爱更尊重中国，更中国人。
And maybe we can get a little dog bath in this as well.
The world will beat you down, beat you with a stick.
Oh God. I have no words. I have no words, guys. The generosity tonight, especially for me after being in the hospital yesterday. This just reminds me of just how wonderful this community we fostered is, and how amazing between all of you guys tonight. It's just been unbelievable. I will gladly see Snow White now. Lauren, I'm in it with you now. We're gonna do this together, my friend.
I guess we're gonna.
I'm in it too.
Pain.
Me, you, Valiant, Force of Light, and apparently Nolan. But yes, wow. Thank you guys. Really, 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 really thank you. Yeah, she says you're excited now, but just wait till you have to watch Snow White.
Just picturing
Just picturing Lauren in a theater. The money wasn't worth it.
Oh no, we're gonna see. We're gonna see when Lauren and I will. I'm gonna call Lauren. I'm gonna call you when I get out of the theater, and we'll have to compare notes. My God, I'm amazed. Thank you guys so very much. Seriously, Photon Empress, you rock. Virginia Sharp, you rock. All of you rock. Like you rock out loud. All right.
Just real quick. Ninja Master's responding some more. I know you're talking about that scene before the Death Star run, but that scene, the reason it was there was to call back to that original meeting between Luke and Biggs at the beginning that got cut. That wasn't something before the Death Star scene. That was not added. That was always there, but it always left the audience a little bit confused because they imply that Biggs and Luke have this great big relationship, but you don't know why because it was never shown in that earlier scene. So that's where that comes from.
Right. Absolutely. Gina Sharp says Photon Empress is the Dark Empress of Pain. I love that.
So Corvette stealing the Death Star plans.
So yeah, I don't mind that scene at all because I like that. It shows us that Luke and Biggs were friends. So it makes Biggs' death mean more when he dies on the Death Star run. I think you're right, Lauren.
Yeah, and it's really important. That scene is really important because Biggs was Luke's hero, and he'd gone off to join the Imperial Academy, and he's now got a commission on an Imperial ship. And what Biggs tells Luke is that at the first chance that he gets, he's planning to jump ship and join the rebellion. And Luke is saying, well, you'll never find the rebellion. Even the Empire can't find him. And Biggs says, well, then I'm going to go off and do what I can because he knows the Empire is bad. And this is the first step where Luke is now, he's really upset because he says, yeah, and I'm stuck here. And Biggs says, well, you were just going to go off and join the academy yourself. What happened? And he says, oh, my uncle and aunt, they need me for another season. And Biggs is kind of saying they feed you this line to keep you here. You know, Luke really wants to go off, but he feels devoted to his uncle and aunt, like he can't leave them. But this is where he first starts to have some political thoughts, and a lot of it is because of Biggs. And actually, if you go into the further backstory of Biggs on the Rand Ecliptic, he was serving with Hobby and Wes Jansen as well. So this is kind of where the core group of those Fly Boys all served in the Empire before they defected.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But you know what? There were some things that I absolutely hate. The Han shooting first on his thing, but the thing that I hate more than anything else in the special edition, and I don't to this day understand why George changed it, is Return of the Jedi when the Sarlacc grabs Lando and he goes, "Wait, I thought you were blonde." And the original line is Han goes, "It's all right, trust me." And then he hits it. And it's amazing. It's an incredibly BA moment. They changed it to, "It's all right, I can see a lot better." I was like, George, you ruined that.
I thought someone said it was because it was the cut of the movie that they used, and that it wasn't that he changed it. It wasn't an intentional change.
The line did change, but I don't know if that's why. It could be. I hadn't heard that before. It reminds me of. I'm going to talk about Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for a while. There's a line where Indy has a badass moment in the Peru cemetery, and Mutt says to him, "You're a school teacher?" And he says, "Part-time." In the trailer, he says it like that. But in the movie, it's part-time, and it's a totally different line reading, and it's way better in the trailer. And I've always wondered why that difference. It doesn't make sense.
My problems with sorry, Kev.
Oh, no, go ahead.
My problems with the re-edited original trilogy are all in pretty much all in Jedi, because I don't like the music changes. I think they should have kept the Yub Nub song and the song in Jabba's Palace. I don't want the Space James Brown. I want the original.
Yeah.
But my bigger problem is Hayden Christensen showing up as the Force Ghost. I think it should have been the original actor. I also think it kind of doesn't get redemption right, because he's still he redeems himself by killing the Emperor and resolving the anger in himself and things like that. But he's that man. He's that old man now. That's the person who's died, not the young one who got cut up on Mustafar.
I get
Martin, the reason apparently George made the change in the first place was because he was supposed to revert back when he was good, before like everything went evil. But it doesn't make sense because he technically turned good again when he threw the Emperor off the balcony at the end of Return of the Jedi. And if I could bring this, go ahead, Marvin.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say though, I hate how much of Return of the Jedi was changed, because the ending is something that's very sacred to people. It's probably one of the things you really don't want to mess with that much. And as someone who likes the music changes at the end of Return of the Jedi, that John Williams piece is powerful. My biggest issue was Vader shouting no at the end during the climax, because part of the beauty in the music of that scene is Vader's expressionless face. You're just rooting for him, like whether you saw the prequels or not, for Vader to finally do the right thing, and you don't know what he's going to move. When you clearly hear him being like, no, like you could read him like a book, and it takes away so much of the tension. That never jived with me.
It's also Luke going down the shaft in Bespin when they added the Emperor's scream to that, which was the dumbest thing. It's like he has resolved to jump down here. This is him making this fateful decision. Why is he screaming?
He will sacrifice.
My entire movie theater gasped in horror and then started laughing.
We all agree though that McClunky was the right move. We had to get McClunky in there.
McClunky actually makes me laugh because it's like, I don't know why this is here, but it's delightful that it is.
So, the one thing that I was always afraid of that they were going to do, and I still think it might happen one day, I think we might get a remastered original trilogy where they replace Puppet Yoda with CGI Yoda. I thought if George still had it, I think we would have gotten it by now. because they replaced Puppet Yoda with CGI Yoda in Phantom Menace. In the re-release of that, the Blu-ray release.
The thing was the Phantom Menace Yoda didn't look right though. That's why they did that. It was always kind of Phantom Menace Yoda looked a little scary, honestly. He did not look like Yoda, and so I applaud them making that decision. And also, I liked the Yoda Dooku fight, but I think you would have a fight on your hands if you replaced the original Stuart Freeborn Muppet. If you replaced Puppet Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, the fans would revolt even harder than they are now.
I will say, as far as revolting goes, can we be grateful, though, that we only ever had Lucas making changes and Disney hasn't gone back and retroactively been like, all right, Slave 1 is now Boba Fett's gunship. Slave Leia is now Jabba Slayer Leia. Like, they would do it. Or put trigger warnings in the front. I'm surprised they haven't yet.
Yeah, well, Disney is, I guess, at least known well enough to not alter the original trilogy. I've altered the trilogy. Pray I don't alter it further. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to make that joke.
When the Library of Congress asked for a copy of Star Wars, they wanted the 77 edition, and Lucas sent them the remastered. And they're like, nope. That's not the one that was inducted. We want the original. He said, doesn't exist.
The Library of Congress apparently does have it. They do have the original. Okay. Yeah, they do have it, but it's under lock and key. Like you can't check it out or view it.
You find out they just got it at a comic convention. It's like a shoddy bootleg that the cover's kind of wrong on. Has Japanese subtitles at the bottom.
And ladies and gentlemen, I am announcing officially my run for Congress in 2028.
So you're gonna run for Congress just to watch the original 1977 Star Wars?
No, just to introduce a law that will change copyright laws so that we can all get it.
I knew that's where you're gonna go with that.
See, you know what? I thought it was a selfish thing, and you ended up being magnanimous. So you know what, Martin, you're a good man.
I do it for you.
It's Martin, not Lorne.
Martin, can I be your vice?
Congress doesn't get Congress is full of vice, but it's not an official.
Oh my goodness. Let's see, Lauren, what are you saying in the chat? I understand the issues with size Snoodles and the Yuzum, but I figure if you accept the Neimoidians, they're not much different when it comes to the taking me out of it. But yeah, you know what? You're not wrong.
Also, it's a good band name, Size Noodles and the Yuzum.
Martin, you're on fire tonight.
I actually like Jedi Rocks, but I also love Lapti Nek. I think both of those are great musical numbers. I know a lot of people don't like Jedi Rocks, but I kind of agree with B.R. Geist that I think a lot of the reason that people don't like it is because of the visuals. And I kind of get that. It's a little too cartoony. They do a little bit too much of the close-up stuff with the mouths. But I always go back to the Phantom Menace when the Neimoidians were introduced. And I had been so excited for the prequels to come out. I had been hyped. I actually went to the first Star Wars celebration just so I could see some footage that hadn't been released yet. And the movie opens and the Neimoidians start talking. And I remember sitting in my seat and going, "Oh no, what has he done?" And I'm not kidding. I saw the Phantom Menace 14 times in the theater that year.
I know somebody who's got you beat.
Because I went back to see it because I couldn't decide if I liked it or not. I was trying to decide, what is this? There were things about it that I liked. Obviously, the lightsaber stuff. I love Qui-Gon.
You were desperately trying to find something.
Eventually, I got there. But I mean, one of the best times that I went to see it that year was with a buddy of mine when we actually did the MST3K with it in an empty theater, where we're just making ridiculous comments during it. And my favorite one that just actually had me snort in the theater was, it was near the end of the theater when they're doing Qui-Gon's funeral pyre, and he leaned over to me and he said, "How do you like your Qui-Gon?" And that just slayed me.
Lauren, I've never been to Star Wars Celebration. I think that sounds cool. But you know what I am celebrating? Regina Sharp got a 50 in the chat.
I didn't see that. I was waiting for Lord to finish up. We should just pool our money together and buy a congressman like normal people.
I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game.
That's amazing. Thank you, Regina. That's like $200 from you tonight, Regina Shrep. Thank you so much. That means the world. You guys are just so awesome and so generous. I love it so much. I love this community. You guys are my heart and soul. Seriously. Just the best people in the world. Thank you guys so very, 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 very much. So Lauren, 14 times seeing Phantom Menace. Kevin Apollo, how many times did you see the Phantom Menace?
100.
And 100. Even 100 times in theaters.
Yes. That's because you worked at the theater, though, right? You didn't pay for it 100 times.
No, I did.
Oh,
because I just
explain this because every episode of Tooney Talk TV is someone's first episode of Tooney Talk TV.
so one of my best friends, I refer to him as the principal because he's a principal now. He is a super fan, and the first time we went, we liked it, and then we talked about it, and they're like, "Do we really like this?" And then we went back again, and they're like, I don't know if and we went back again. And then we hit like 10 times in a really short amount of time. And then it just turned into, how many times can we see this before we have to go away to school? and we just kept punching every chance we had. We just punched through because movie theater tickets were like $5 then. So it was like, whatever. And we would go. And again, one of the final times was, there was a guy behind us who had clearly not seen the movie yet, and he's just punching his legs like this the entire movie. And then when Qui-Gon gets run through, he goes, "No!" I was like, "This is fantastic."
How long did it take you to see that movie 100 times? How many months did that take?
It took the entire summer. We technically we saw so 99 was the last time we saw it together, and then it was playing in the theater in town when I got to school, and I was like, well, I can't stop it at 99. I'm gonna go, and it was like a $2 movie night. So I grabbed like 3 people and went to go see it one more time. But I had gotten to the point where I could fall asleep and I knew exactly what I wanted to see. So we landed in Naboo. I fall asleep. Woke up in time for the pod race, go to sleep, wake up in time for the quick fight in the desert, go to sleep, wake up in time for like the movie. I broke the movie down to 30 minutes. I
was about to ask towards the end there, were you still glued to the screen or were you guys trading Pokemon cards in the dark at that point?
So there's a couple of things, and I want to ask you about this, Kevin. First, though, I went to that first Star Wars celebration. It was miserable. It was an awful time. If you ever hear anybody talk about the first Star Wars celebration, they didn't know how many people to expect. It was at Denver Airfield, and it rained and was cold and miserable. Everybody was outside because there wasn't room inside. It was a really awful time. But I did get the novelization of The Phantom Menace, signed by Terry... I can't think of his name right now. What's that? The guy who writes the Shannara novels. I can't think of his name right now. It had a special slipcase, but I also got the thing that I really wanted to get, the thing I always want to get when one of these movies comes out, was the soundtrack. And unfortunately, that soundtrack spoiled Qui-Gon's Noble End. And I was so disappointed because... Yep, I got hit with it. Now, the question I wanted to ask you, Kevin, is knowing that you saw The Phantom Menace that many times, I'm kind of the weird guy when it comes to this and the prequels. I love Attack of the Clones. It's my favorite prequel movie, and I know a lot of people will slag me for that. I want to know what your opinion was of Attack of the Clones.
I appreciate Attack of the Clones. I think it's probably one of the more ambitious ones because there is incredible political intrigue jammed into that movie. I love the fact that Dooku is telling the truth, and it's everyone's biases that are stopping him from really stopping all this from happening. The only thing that kills me is just the Anakin Padme dialogue. It just stinks. But other than that, I love that movie. I honestly have zero problems with any of the prequels. I think Phantom Menace is, to me, it is the perfect jump on point movie. The fine Jar Jar is what Jar Jar is, whatever. But I also go, this movie is for kids. People got to kind of suck it up. Attack of the Clones, I love its pace. I saw that movie a lot too, but we at the point we're like, we're too old for this. We can't do this the way we would normally have done it a few years earlier. And then episode 3 is episode 3. So I was a very early defender of the prequels. So, but yeah,
I enjoyed all 3 of them as well. So I will say I did something really I don't think a lot of people would find it dumb, but I actually think it improved my enjoyment. It did and it didn't. So I read the novel before the movie came out. But then I turned this into a grift because I made bets with my friends on what was going to happen. And I remember one of my friends was like, "Well, how do you think Palpatine's gonna get all messed up?" I said, "I bet you his own Force lightning gets put back into his face, and it melts his face." And my friend was like, "That's dumb." I said, "I bet you $10." And I used to do that with Dragon Ball, because I had all the Japanese tapes from bootlegs, and so I would be like, "I bet you $20 Gohan kills Cell." And at the beginning of the Cell saga, it's like, "Oh yeah, fine, I'll take that bet." And I was like,
Marvin, you are a mad genius.
The only thing I didn't like was how Palpatine wound up getting scarred, because I was always a big fan of the theory that he was so corrupted by the dark side that it physically warped his appearance.
And I think there is something to that, because I always thought that the warping was partly the lightning, but partly it dropped, the facade dropping, because his eyes turn yellow. So I guess I don't know. But the best though is the robot chicken one. Yeah. where he's like, "Hey, my face is feeling a little hot right now. Ow, ow, ow." He looks and goes, "Oh my God, what am I going to call myself? Darth Syphilis?" You would have made up your mind 10 seconds earlier. We could have ruled the galaxy together, and I might have got laid one more time.
So I do have to ask the panel one more thing before we switch. Are y'all going to see the Revenge of the Sith re-release here in a few months?
I want to see it. Oh, absolutely.
My last point on movies that were different in the theater and the different we got them later.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze for everybody else?
Kevin, come back.
Yeah, no, he's frozen on me.
Trish is muted.
No, she's
That's
gone.
my bad. That's my bad. That last little stretch was me. But now I'm terrified. It's me. He froze. I'm like, oh my God. Did my thing just crap out on me again? Oh God. And then I made it worse by being on mute and then accidentally hitting the camera. So
now we might never know. We might never know what he was actually trying to say.
So Revenge of the Sith is getting a re-release?
Yes, it is.
Yes. For the 20th anniversary. Fun fact, I kept checking to see if they were going to re-release it. And literally the night before, I was looking at it and I'm like, Disney's not going to do it. I give up on this, whatever. And then the next day they announced it. I'm like, there is a God.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go watch that with riff tracks in the theater.
So here, I was actually going to ask this question, and Thumper E23 beat me to it. Thoughts on the Machete Order? Lauren, have you ever watched Machete Order?
I'm trying to remember what it is. I have my own order that I suggest newcomers watch, but I'm curious to see.
Machete Order is episode 4, episode 5, episode 2, episode 3, episode 6. It cuts out Phantom Menace entirely.
Ew.
Yeah, I would. That's pretty close to my order, but I wouldn't cut out the Phantom Menace. I would do 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 6.
Yeah, I like the we'll call that the Lauren order. I was literally just I didn't mean it like that, but I heard it when I said it.
I heard the same thing.
Lauren order. But yeah, because the idea is that after the I am your father reveal, you flash back to see how we got to this point. And then
and that's kind of why I suggest that order is I would never deviate from watching 4 first, because it lays the foundation for the entire universe. It is some of the most skillful exposition that I have ever seen in any script or movie, where Obi-Wan explains to Luke who the Jedi are, what the Empire is, what all of this is about. He lays all of the backstory at Luke's feet in a very efficient 3 or 4 minutes. And I think it's right to hit the audience with the Vader confession and then to go back. I wouldn't skip episode 1 because I think you do need to see how Anakin and Obi-Wan meet. I think that is important, despite the fact that I have issues with that movie.
You also
and then
I think cut Darth Maul. It cuts out Darth Maul, and that's the thing that I don't like.
Yeah, and the other thing is that you go through 2 and 3 because you have to. You have to see how he becomes Darth Vader. But then I think you do need to go to Rogue One, because then you get to see Vader at his absolutely most lethal. And you're thinking back to that, this is Luke's father?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go to 6 and see the redemption arc. That's how I would do it.
I like that. Have you ever? I love watching these reaction videos where people like will show Star Wars to their kids for the first time, and like the kids are little enough where they've not heard the "I am your father" yet, so they get to it, and like they're like they have a visceral reaction to it. I really love why I find reaction videos fascinating. But all right, we have got super chats have been piling up, so we have got to get to some of those. Let's see. That was Jonas. We had child mistreatment. Lauren. Chef Eddie for $5 says Trish is hiding out. We need to make her go see Snow White for leaving. That was when you dropped.
Yeah. I figured.
And then Jonas J. Campbell for $10 says, I think Lauren should watch Snow White twice.
Lauren's face. Everyone's just pushing him to his breaking point.
Wait, doesn't Jonas have to go too? I thought Jonas was in on this as well.
If he is, I'm not aware of it. I think he just likes stirring the pot.
I thought that
you don't need to just book the same theater already.
Well, Pro was actually saying for the amount of money they're throwing at us, they ought to just fly us all down to New Orleans so we can watch it together with Valiant Renegade.
Yeah, right. Go and Shogi for $5 says, I finally understand Lauren's pain. I was coerced to watch some of With Love, Megan. Lauren,
was that Meghan Markle thing?
Yes, I think so. Because Lauren, I'm so sorry about the Acolyte. We were cruel.
Like I said, at least I got Uncrustables out of it.
Oh, I like Uncrustables. You know, I had an Uncrustable in the hospital. Like, I didn't really want to put my wife went and grabbed me one, and I was like, wow, this is actually good. Is this what these kids are eating? That's good. I like this.
They are really good.
It's a respectable peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I enjoy a good Uncrustable. I can get behind that.
And the thing that drives me nuts is that Pro calls them Crustables. I don't know why. He somehow doesn't get the concept that there's.
I was just going to say
they're Uncrustables.
Yes, you cannot put a crust on them.
Like the point is, you're uncrusting them.
Yep. But he calls them Crustables. You just have a conversation with him. That's what he's going to call them.
All right, I'm gonna bring it up in conversation and see what he says.
Just
like,
allude to it, so he says it naturally.
Yeah. So, but you know, the thing that Pro got me hooked on though was when I went to his house, he has clearly Canadian sparkling water, and they're in these like glass bottles, and like it was like bougie seltzer. It was so good and like so pure, and I'm like, I have to have more of these, and they're expensive, so I only get them once in a while.
They actually used to have those. They were a lot more common in the 80s. They're kind of like a specialty item now, but they were better back then. They tasted even better than the ones that you get now.
Oh, it was so good.
I get what you mean though, because I love sparkling San Pellegrino, which is like bougie, bubbly water too.
I like seltzer water to begin with. Like that's like the water that I drink is seltzer water. Like I have a million cans of it on my desk right now. Yeah. Packing Protons for $2 says WPLJ bank run callback. We've got Lauren down. Packing Protons for $2. No one remembers Choco Bliss 90s one.
I'm assuming it's Choco. like
Choco
chocolate.
Bliss. Okay, yeah.
Not Choco.
I'm a final. Look, I'm a Final Fantasy fan. I see that, and I see Chocobo.
It sounds familiar though. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Rugrats with chocolate cheese.
They were a Hostess sweet or cake, right?
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yes, I found an old picture.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll send it to you.
You have to describe it to us.
It's not the clearest photo because it's clearly from when it was the 80s, but
Backing Proton says it was a 90s thing.
Or 90s. I mean, either way, it's clearly not HD current stuff, you know.
Hold on, I'm gonna share the screen.
But yeah, in the corner it does have a little hostess.
Can you guys see that?
I can. I don't know if they can
Nolan?
there, but
I'm waiting for the stream right now. Need about it's up.
All right, a chocolate lover's dream apparently. So there you go. Let's see what else we got here. Ryan Damon for 5. If you were in charge, what would you make the AMC MacGuffin cocktail be for Snow White? Oh, jeez. Oh man, I don't know. What do you? I would make it like a Long Island iced tea, just whatever had like the most alcohol in it possible, so that the men in the crowd would have something to take their minds off of it.
Well, she's German, right? So schnapps with a hemlock chaser.
The hemlock chaser, fan.
That's dark, sir.
That is dark. That is very dark.
Well, wasn't Martin the one who? What was it? Where his theory was everyone was dead.
Hold on. When you said that's dark, were you commenting on the joke or the fact that Kevin just popped up?
Oh,
is he black?
Demonetization in 5, 4, 3.
Sorry, I had to get that in there. John Williams for $1.99 says George Lucas goes, "Stop, that's illegal." George Lucas is just a sad Kermit the Frog. Packing Protons for 2 says maybe the Ewoks have no eyelids.
No, they must blink.
Maybe the Ewoks remove their eyelids as a rite of passage.
Speaking of dark,
people
these
like
guys took on Imperial stormtroopers
and won.
Oh well, that explains everything to me.
Teddy bear.
Yeah, we never got the answer.
All the movies.
We also never got the answer to where in the world they got human clothing for Princess Leia when they, abducted her. Like, was there some innocent woman they harvested?
That's 100% it.
It's the girl from the Ewok Adventures.
People forget all the time. The Ewoks were fully prepared to cook and consume Han Solo. They were going to eat his flesh.
I'm going to go with kind of a deep cut here, but one of the funniest things that I remember was there was an RTS game that wasn't real popular. It was called Force Commander. It was one of the first. You know this one. Okay.
Yes, it's the one that gave us the awesome Imperial March remix. I love that.
Yes, very true. It had great music, but you played both sides. You got to start off as the Imperials. You switched to the Rebels, and you go back to the Imperials, if I remember right. But the thing is, you get it's such a good time playing the Empire because you have these massive mechanized forces that you can just tromp all over everybody with until you get to Endor. And those freaking Ewoks will absolutely destroy your crap. They give no Fs. They will absolutely take you apart as the Empire. They are frightening in that game.
Oh my gosh.
One of the funniest things they did, they made them absolutely, it was nightmare fuel what the Ewoks did to the Imperial mechanized forces.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, John Williams for $10. Apparently, ESB Disney Plus edited the Emperor hologram to be more shadowy, which is closer to the OG, where the Emperor is covered in shadow. It works to help build the Emperor up. I like that. If that's the case, I haven't watched The Empire Strikes Back on Disney Plus, but I do like that because I always thought that the one issue I had with Ian McDiarmid being put into The Empire Strikes Back is he doesn't look like Return of the Jedi Palpatine. He looks like Revenge of the Sith Palpatine.
They look like they came right off the set of Revenge of the Sith. It just clashes.
Hayden Christensen's a Force ghost, so I'm more forgiving with that. It's Palpatine not looking like the way he's going to look in one movie that bothers me. Let's see. Packing Protons for 5. Says that Han Sarlacc line bothers me too. It's a horrible ad lib and seems sped up as well, so it fits in. Yeah, it is a weird thing. Let's see. John Williams for 199, power to the 199, says PM Puppet was like a mummy version of Yoda. Phantom Menace Puppet, yeah, it was not good. JPS member for 6 months says free hat. You know, Hat Caulfield. South Park reference, guys. Because, all right. Jonas J. Campbell for $5 says, yeah, well, Martin and I were the only white people in a showing of Undercover Brother.
That's 100% true.
Martin, please tell this story, because this is one that I feel like I need to hear.
Jonas and I used to go to the movies so much that literally the only movie playing in a theater that we hadn't seen yet was Undercover Brother. And it was we were at a mall that was on its way down, and so
you could just say a mall.
Yeah, well, that's true. But so we each buy a ticket to Undercover Brother. We go and sit down. We were early because back then you might be hanging out at a mall and just like, hey, let's catch a movie, whatever happens to be on, right? So we're sitting down about in the middle of the theater, and as all these black guys are walking in, they keep giving us the side eye, like we're intruding.
Oh no! Was it like Animal House?
So it's starting to get a little uncomfortable, and the movie starts, and it's fun enough, but we start making fun of it, and these guys start cracking up along with us. So it was a great time.
You bridge the racial divide through riff tracking Undercover Brother with Jonas.
So much healing.
Oh gosh, it's
about you guys time, see right? Tang?
I have seen that, but I didn't see it in the theaters.
Oh my gosh!
I love the idea that you just one day were like, I want to sit and watch Pootie Tang. You just sat and watched in the comfort of your own home.
Some friends of mine, me and my wife, that was like their favorite movie.
My friends and I used to go to midnight showings every week because back then there was always a midnight showing for whatever was coming out. And it was midnight Thursday night. And it was just, we saw some weird things for midnight showings. We would literally be like, well, what's coming out this week for the midnight showing? And we were just like, I guess we'll go see Date Movie or whatever. A Date Movie, by the way, is the only movie I've ever tried to walk out of. I literally turned to my friend and I was like, we have to go. We have to leave. I think we're still at the point where we can get our money back. And my other friend was like, no, it might get better. And I'm like, no, it's not going to get better. We've seen the best this movie has to offer already. I guarantee it. And they were my ride, so we couldn't leave.
Jonas got his dad to agree to go to Phantom Menace midnight showing because, back in the day, those tickets have been sold out for weeks. And Jonas found out from somebody that one of our local theaters added 3 screens at midnight. And he's like, yeah, I can get tickets. And his dad goes, all right, if you can get tickets, I'll buy them. Not thinking it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he ended up dragging the whole family to go see that movie at midnight.
It's amazing. Midnight showing. All right. So one more very quick Star Wars thing. I'm sorry, Trish. We're not going to dredge up the Kennedy stuff again because the news that she threw her little tantrum broke last time that we were on. So we'll just touch on this. So rumor, Chris Gore reports that Disney has been trying to sell Star Wars for 7 months, but no one will buy it. Film Threat seeks additional information. So this came from our friend Chris Gore and Alan Ng over at Film Threat. Great guys. Love them to death. I got to hang out with Alan a bit at MegaCon, and what a swell guy. Just absolutely great. And I've been in a couple streams with Chris. Both really cool dudes. Suggesting that Disney has been quietly looking to sell Star Wars for the past 7 months, but reportedly there have been no takers. Now, Gore, who has industry connections outside the media sphere, claims a trusted source in the financial sector informed him that Disney has been putting out feelers to gauge interest in selling Star Wars or potentially Lucasfilm as a whole. However, despite months of searching, the entertainment giant has allegedly failed to secure an interested buyer. So he said, this is from a friend who's not in the nerd space, not in the YouTube space, not a media person. This is a friend in the world of finance, a trusted individual who says for 7 months they have put out feelers about selling Star Wars. Now, it remains unclear whether Disney is actually sell the entire brand, Lucasfilm as a whole, or just select assets. But given Disney's deep integration with Star Wars through Disney Plus, theme park attractions, merchandise, and licensing deals, any potential sale would likely be complex. And Alan asks at some point, are you really buying Lucasfilm? Or are you just an owner in name, and Disney will still run things? And that's kind of what I like. Look, I don't know if I 100% believe this. I think maybe Mr. H had a really interesting take on this, where he said he thinks it might have been like because Kennedy is leaving, they're trying to like figure out the value of Lucasfilm as like for her golden parachute, and that maybe that's what's going on. I can't imagine they want to sell it. If they were to sell it, I think it would be Disney. You buy the IP. Disney retains the licensing rights. Disney retains the theme park rights. Disney retains the merchandising rights. Lauren, what say you?
To me, this feels a little bit like a game of telephone. I don't think that Disney would sell Star Wars, not least because they have so much invested in the parks. I think it's more like a Marvel situation where they're looking to sell the licensing rights to have third parties try and fix their brand. This would be kind of like the old EU where you have essentially a publisher that would have a stable of authors that will write novels, they'll do games. They've got to know that anybody external who cares about the property would do a better job than their own internal folks. And I suspect that's what this is about. I think they want to have a bidding war for people to vie for the rights for a limited amount of time to publish and or fix the brand while they try and clean house internally.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that. I can definitely see that. I think something is happening because Gore doesn't, throw around trusted sources easily. But at the same time, he was asking for anyone else that has information on this because he wants to try to confirm it. But yeah, I would be really shocked if they were just going to sell it outright. Could you imagine though? Best case scenario, George bought it back for like $2 billion.
Never happened. George is done.
I know
he doesn't care anymore. But I think this is kind of why I'm leaning on thinking it's a game of telephone. I agree that Chris is great with his sources, but he's very upfront about the fact that this is not a media guy. This is a financial guy. And so I think that's kind of why the story's getting a little muddled.
Yeah, I agree.
That was the wrong button.
I agree.
We're all a mess tonight.
Kevin, what do you think?
I wouldn't be shocked. We've heard this rumor. It's a third party thing. I would imagine Disney wouldn't sell it just because it would be a gross admission of their own failure, because they're not going to sell it for as much as they got it for. So do they really want to publicly say we devalued this evergreen property to the point that we have to offload it and sell it at a discount? I think this is more of a third-party thing. The rumor that they've been wanting to do this with Marvel has been around forever. To the point that it looked like they were grooming. Which company was it that went under?
Sony?
No, not Sony. It was one of the comic book companies. I can't remember which one it was. The not Boom, but either it was
Dark Horse?
Like No. I know there have been so many casualties over the last 7 years. I wouldn't be shocked because again, like Lauren said, if it's going to get fixed, it's not going to come from the inside. It's going to be people from the outside who care for it and actually understand it, who actually understand the property and can nurse it back to health. And it's just easier for Disney to let someone else fix it and then make money off of what they did later. So.
Yeah, Martin, what do you think?
I think they've devalued the brand for any buyer because the theme park rights had to be a major part of the value, the ability to put it into a park. Mm-hmm. And since Disney's got the lands now, either they massively retheme them to something else and the theme park rights go with Lucasfilm, but they probably wouldn't. So that's less value there. LucasArts is gone. How many other divisions that they bought with Lucasfilm are no longer a part of it? They've literally devalued the brand by integrating it so thoroughly into themselves.
They still have Industrial Light and Magic. That's a big moneymaker, but I don't think they would offload that because I think that brings in a lot of revenue for them.
And then what's left of the IP of the Lucas IPs? They destroyed Star Wars. They destroyed Willow. They
Indiana
really
Jones.
damaged Indy. They really damaged Indy.
They damaged him, but I think that the Great Circle actually helped repair some of that. I think that I don't think they can necessarily do new movies, but I think that there's a possibility to revive the brand with other spin-off material. If they can get some sequels to Great Circle and continue that level of quality, there's a possibility to still do some stuff there. So that would be exciting for me.
I'd even like them to see go back to young Indy. I loved the young Indiana Jones. But yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Stranger, we live in strange times, but I just don't see it.
I don't either. All right. Moving along. So since we've got 3 out of the 4 Lost guys here, I would like to discuss some Lost media that came to light today. The Powerpuff Girls canceled CW series trailer has dropped online, and it's one of the worst things ever created. WB shoots down trailer with mass copyright claims. By the way, when I started writing it, this article, this was the headline, and then midway through, WB started shooting it down. So who here watched the Powerpuff Girls at some point in their life? Kevin, I know you did. Trish?
Nope.
Really? I thought you were going to be able to weigh in on this one.
No, I'm not much of an animated person in general. I mean, like, I liked Adventure Time, but it's kind of like
didn't love it.
It's like the exception that proves the rule with me. So.
Right.
Did you see the parrot that dances to Making Bacon Pancakes?
Wait, what was that about?
Bacon? That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I love this parrot. I love that you love this parrot, Kevin. I feel like we're brothers somehow.
I would check. I would check the genealogy on that one, Lauren. I have a suspicion that you don't share blood.
Well, he'll get bigger. Yeah, he'll eventually match my size. It'll happen.
Right.
The real question is: Are you guys brothers or brothers?
I would say both.
Yeah,
that's the right answer.
Is it brothers with a hard R or brothers with a soft A?
Can you say it in polite company?
Do you guys remember the funeral scene from Zoolander? Where he starts talking?
Always.
I feel like we ought to be like in a buddy cop movie. I think that would just sell tickets.
I would
watch
Kev
the
Man.
high holy hell out of that. Oh my gosh.
It'd have to be something like we'd have to do a take like on BJ and the Bear, because of your bear issues,
Because your bear issues.
we got to work a bear into it.
I'm totally calling you Kevin's bear issues now.
Oh, I thought Lauren said bearishness.
Was it bearishness or bear issues?
I think it's bear issues.
It was bear issues.
Okay.
Yeah. We could call it Apollorn.
That's when they do the fusion dance.
I think we call it Lauren in Order.
Yes.
Bum.
Yes, Morton's right.
Lauren in Order. All right, so back to this. Spencer, were you a
Do we have
Powerpuff
to? Do we have to go back to it? We can talk about more Lauren in Order. Let's get some episode counts going.
Did you watch Powerpuff Girls as a kid, Spencer?
Oh hell yeah, I did. I loved Powerpuff Girls. I loved all of those Cartoon Network shows.
It was part of that
Rowdy
block,
Rough
man.
Boys, and when they made Bunny and she had to sacrifice herself and
Yep.
Beat Alls. I know it all, baby.
Mm-hmm. My wife is a Powerpuff Girls super fan. But
she loved this.
She actually did. She was like, "Oh, that's hysterical. I'd watch the crap out of that."
The normie curse.
Yeah. Because I think she wanted to watch it because my wife loves to watch things and make fun of them. and I think this would have been the ultimate.
Oh, so that
goldmine
she was
for
going
her.
on that. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Yeah. So the Powerpuff Girls were just an integral part of that Cartoon Network block where it was like the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, probably Cow and Chicken, even though I didn't actually watch that one. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which I did watch.
Yeah, Grim.
And it's one of the best cartoons ever made.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, which I did not like.
Me neither.
Yeah, that
I know.
I always thought I was the odd man out on that.
Yeah,
opinion.
Nolan loves it and creepy.
Well, no. I didn't like it either. I thought it was too weird
I
for
thought
its own good.
I thought there was somebody in here who like loved Courage. I thought it was you for some reason. You just love everything because you're way more positive and happy than us. You have things to live for.
He's young.
No, that's what I mean. Like he has his whole life in front of him.
Mm-hmm. So the long dead, much maligned Powerpuff Girls CW series Powerpuff has surfaced in the form of a leaked trailer, and it's somehow even worse than expected. This ill-fated live-action adaptation of the Powerpuff Girls has been an industry punchline for years, but now we can all witness just how misguided the project truly was. If you excuse me.
It's so bad. It's killing Marvin.
Yeah, if you thought the idea of a gritty, angst-ridden take on Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup was bad in theory, it's so much worse when you see how it looks in action. However, the trailer's presence online was brief, with Warner Bros. Issuing copyright claims left and right to mercifully strike this horror from the internet for good.
You can
so
still
back in
find
2020,
it very easy.
I'm sure
archive.org, everybody. I have a link.
No,
to
they got it.
one. No, they didn't.
They got it off. No,
they
that,
didn't.
When I was writing this article, that was what I was using for.
Did you write it in the last like hour?
No, I didn't.
Because
they shot it down off archive.org earlier in the day. It might be back.
I'm looking at the link right now because I published my article like an hour or two ago and completely live, and it's still here.
Spence, can you send that my way?
Absolutely, I can.
Thank you, brother.
Someone rip it. Someone rip it and download it so we have it forever.
I did.
Culture
we
did already.
want it though.
Never you. The thing is, you don't ever let this go away. That's the thing. I don't want it, but you don't ever let this go.
Here's the thing: is I'm all about lost media and canceled stuff, but this is something that needs to be burnt with fire. I mean, it should be protected, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, you don't have to like it, but nobody's liking it. It's you hold this so that when we can point to it and go like, remember that? We all saw it. Are you going to do something like that? Is your next adaptation of whatever comic book going to look like that? Or is it going to be Superman and Lois?
Spencer, that's like having a public, like someone's head on a pike in front of your town the last time someone messed with it. It's an example.
And
it doesn't
worked.
mean you want it.
And it worked. And it worked. So I don't know what you want. If we can keep this out here and in everybody's minds, then we will avoid situations where studios think that they can produce this kind of crap. Because this is everything that's wrong with like modern writing to a T, like a microcosm, perfect encapsulation. So we need to look at this to go like, this is what we avoid.
I was just saying,
honestly, Spencer, joking aside, I completely agree with you. And go ahead, Kevin.
Put it on a spike.
This was so bad. This would have been rejected in the mid 90s when we were just happy to get content and took whatever they threw at us. Like
you got that Birds of Prey show, and this still would have been rejected.
Yeah, seriously though, I'm like, oh my gosh, like who? I had like a meltdown. I'm like, who thought that this was a good idea? Who thought it was a good idea to give this money? Who thought it was a good idea to shop it around?
Greg Berlanti, apparently.
Yeah, but why do you think, Kevin, that it was shot down because of quality? I think it was shot down because it was the pandemic era and they ran out of money for things.
I do too. I think that they were hell bent on getting this out somehow because I think it was Quake, whatever her name is. She dropped out, and they had to recast her. They were going to.
Chloe Bennett, yeah.
Chloe Bennett dropped out. And then I think they lost Dove Cameron. So they had every intentions on just recasting and going forward. And the last part is, I appreciate that Donald Faison will do anything.
It's hard for me to be mad at him.
You have to do everything.
I love the man to death, but like he's not Professor Utonium.
I'm just like, brother, you can say no every once in a blue moon. It's okay.
Wasn't this from the same
always
era
remember.
that CW was going to do a Robert Rodriguez Zorro TV show with a female Zorro in modern Los
Both
Angeles?
of them got canned around the same time.
Oh, thank God.
Do you guys
So,
remember when the script leaked for this show and we got to hear a little bit about what's going to be in it? Oh my God. I will say, probably on this whole panel, I've seen the movie, all 6 seasons, own it on DVD, seen every episode of the anime, owned countless games. I think this is one of the greatest cartoons ever made. This was flaming hot garbage, and like Buttercup don't look like Buttercup. It's all clearly girl bosses here, and it is just a monstrosity. And I feel like they saw the original series as this is just a template for how we can push agenda, as opposed to getting to create with the IP. I mean, it's the same old song
I didn't know you were
and
such a fake fan. I didn't know you were such a fake fan. You
I
watched
know,
the
right? I'm
cartoons,
such a
you watched
bigot.
the movie. No,
But-
no. Hold on. You watched the cartoons, you watched the movie, you said you played the games, of which there are like 2, but have
There's
you
more
watched
than
the
that.
anime? Have you watched the anime?
He said he like
all 52 episodes.
Okay. I didn't hear him say the anime part.
Yep.
Oh,
Nope.
I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved.
Correct. It was Nolan's fault. That's what I'm saying. He didn't enunciate.
Are
Always.
you actually trying to get into who's the bigger Powerpuff Girls geek fight here?
For real.
I
For
am.
real, Lauren. Come on now.
That's my one thing I need in life.
This is your geek cred moment where you're flopping it on the table, but you've seen every single episode.
No. You know what I just whipped out and launched in. You know what I just smacked out in front of your faces for you all to take in? It wasn't my nerd cred. It's my weeb cred. Because I specifically brought up the anime, and that's why I was doing it. Because
that is
people
true.
don't know the anime, and I know the anime, so I always take a moment to go, do you guys remember there was an anime? Powerpuff
You
Girls.
Philistines, you clods.
Exactly. Don't call yourself an anime fan if you don't know Powerpuff Girls Z. I will leave my
dullard. You dummy. Noodles.
Oh gosh. All right. So the premise of the premise of the show was the once beloved heroes are now bitter, disillusioned 20-somethings who resent their childhood as superheroes. Right from the start, fans were confused. Why would anyone take a beloved kids show and morph it into this? Guys, this is a trope that I hate. Look, the one trope that I hate more than anything in the world. There are 3 tropes that I hate. One is evil Superman. The other one is these cartoon characters fall through a portal and end up in our world. But above them all, the thing I hate the most is beloved childhood IP turned into gritty, nihilistic, nonsense adult content. Like it's absolutely terrible.
Well,
okay,
where do
you
you stand on this?
stabbing everybody.
You like Power
5
Rangers
people don't do
seeing
that.
the Dark Knight?
Yes. Oh,
All right, where do you stand though on Venture Brothers, which is basically Johnny Quest grows up bitter about being a childhood boy adventurer?
I hate that entire trope.
Venture Brothers is so well written
because they're parodying that though.
absolutely.
Like that's the entire thing. They're not going, this is actually Johnny Quest and this is canon now. This is your new Johnny Quest. They're going, this is your Johnny Quest stand-in, and we're gonna poke fun at it.
Yeah. Well, plus Johnny Quest and Race Bannon exist in the Venture Brothers universe.
Well, not anymore. Well, Race doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
So Buttercup was not only race
he's,
swapped, she
he's
delivered cringeworthy dialogue in this trailer about gender normative outfits. So the show immediately had an identity crisis, attempting to be both self-aware and edgy, but failing spectacularly at both. So now, thanks to the internet sleuths and lost media enthusiasts, the trailer surfaced and confirmed every fear that fans had. The 3.5-minute preview was a disaster from start to finish, packed with forced humor, lifeless performances, and a complete misunderstanding about what made the original show work. Bubbles is depicted as a washed-up former child star drowning her sorrows in alcohol. Buttercup is an angsty SJW cliche, and Blossom is traumatized by her past heroics. The show has all the charm of a rejected... Hold on, Nolan. The show has the charm of a rejected college humor skit, but was somehow meant to launch an entire series. Now, Nolan, what were you going to say?
Well, first of all, I want to say that's a great throwback to college humor right there. Second, I want to say another reason why they're screwing this up is Blossom should by all means be the one growing up to be the feminist, not Buttercup. Because she was always very, she thinks she's right about everything. And it was played in a good way for laughs in the show, but it's another misunderstanding of the character. So please tell me how they screwed up Mojo. Please tell me that now.
Oh, the most baffling change is that Mojo Jojo is not an ape. Instead, he's split into two people, a grown man named Mojo and a kid named Jojo. Because apparently a talking evil monkey was either too outlandish or more likely too expensive for a show about superpowered sisters who could fly.
You know, before we started getting into the article, I was thinking in my head like a joke. It's like, what? Did they not make Mojo a monkey? And they already did that. So I can't even joke about that.
I guess
also, we got a 50
money
in the
thing.
chat.
We do. Regina Sharp for another $50. My goodness, Regina Sharp. You were on fire tonight, my friend. The worst part is they made fun of the reboot as dark, gritty in the 90s and on some of these shows that were active during the Powerpuff Girls era, and then they tried to do it with the Powerpuff Girls. It'd be funny if it wasn't so stupid. It is absolutely stupid. It is beyond stupid. It is beyond dumb. You know what? I think the clip for you on this one, in light of the way this conversation has been going.
Hey, we can't all make declarations of hatred at the same time.
But yeah, my goodness, thank you very much, Regina Sharp. But yeah, this was scrapped twice. I mean, here's a picture of Donald Faison as Professor Utonium. It's just Turk from Scrubs as Professor Utonium. You know, Bubbles obsessing over her past celebrity status, Buttercup hooking up with someone and sneaking out before morning, Blossom suffering from anxiety and PTSD-like symptoms due to childhood exploits, and of course WB started shooting it down. But there they are, guys, the Powerpuff Girls, apparently. Just absolute garbage, absolute nonsense. The
DWist.
It really was.
Marv, I hate to kill the vibe, but I gotta go. I've got a splitting headache, and I gotta get out of here.
Well, Powerpuff Girls probably weren't too much. Lauren, thank you very much for being here and for dropping some absolute nuggets of knowledge and humor on us tonight with flopping it out on the table.
I can't. That got me.
I live to serve. I hope you guys all have a great night, and I'll
tell folks where they can find more of you. We'll tell folks where they can find more of you before you head
out. Here on Thursdays, you can find me on the Genre Guys with Lou Wasserman's Ghost and a Hangry Table usually, although we've had a rotating guest host for the last few weeks because Hangry's been tied up with stuff. You can find me on WDW Pro's channel quite often, and I'm at Lauren Connor on X and Lauren Connor 9030 on YouTube.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much for being here, buddy. We love you. We'll see you next week.
You bet. See you all.
All right. You know what?
The one thing I can contribute to a discussion on Powerpuff Girls is that the guy who voiced Mojo Jojo is also the voice of Ghostface. I can contribute that to the conversation. So
I did not
bust that out at parties. Yeah.
Trish, thank you for that image of Mojo Jojo on the phone, by the way.
Welcome.
Well, Trish, it is time for you to shine because Blake Lively has hired a former CIA operative for crisis PR management as public backlash.
Tom King?
It's too late. Oh, God, it's too late. Okay.
Yes. The ship has sailed. Let me introduce the concept here.
Her earring looks like a door knocker.
There you go. Denisha Lane is with you, Trish. She's screaming.
Yes, it's my favorite movie, Denisha. It's my girl right there.
I've never seen Scream. Any of them.
I'm gonna change that.
I've only watched the Budweiser commercial.
All right. By the way, can we just appreciate once again my knack for finding the perfect image of a person that I don't like?
Can we please compliment me? That's what you just said.
Yes. Can we please just talk about how good I am at my job for a second? Because this is the most
watermark
hideous photo.
No, it is a really good.
Blake Lively
got it at a good moment.
Terrible. This was another good one too, with her being just looking pompous and horrible. So Blake Lively is bringing in heavy PR reinforcements as her legal battle with It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni escalates. The actress, who is simultaneously suing and being sued in multiple lawsuits, has now enlisted Nick Shapiro, a former CIA deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to John Brennan, to handle her crisis communication strategy. So a member of Lively's legal team at Wilk, Farr & Gallagher confirmed the hiring, stating the litigation team for Miss Lively retained Mr. Shapiro to advise on the legal communication strategy for an ongoing lawsuit occurring in the Southern District of New York. Now, while it's standard for high-profile figures to seek out crisis PR specialists during legal disputes, Lively's decision to hire a former intelligence official with extensive government experience stands out. Shapiro, who launched 10th Avenue Consulting in 2015 after leaving the government service, has handled crises with political and national security implications. His bio lists experience with situations such as the Boston Marathon incident, the Gulf oil spill, the Japan earthquake, and the Fukushima disaster, and even
Blake
cybersecurity
Lively.
Do we even need to say any of that? Just say he's a CIA agent. That's
Yeah.
all. Like, I assumed he was there.
Do we know which side he was on in those things?
Probably not. The side of the earthquake, clearly. He did PR for the earthquake. The background raises a critical question. Why does Blake Lively need a crisis manager with deep government ties for a Hollywood legal battle? Guys, I open the table up to you.
Because this insipid wagtail can't keep her mouth shut. That's why.
If I were Justin Baldoni, I would want her to keep talking and keep making these moves, because every single one she does is ridiculous and it makes him look better. So
it seriously does. It is but I mean, like, that's really above and beyond. You hire a former CIA operative to run your PR.
When all she has to do is just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Just drop the lawsuit and move on with your life.
You know, shut up.
Well, currently, right now, by the way, Another Simple Favors teaser trailer is sitting at 7.4 thousand likes and 12,000 dislikes, by the way.
I just feel bad for Anna Kendrick. I really do. You know,
she knows that no one's disliking that trailer because of her.
But I mean, it's like,
she's still caught in the undertow. Yeah, I know what you mean, Trish. It still sucks.
Yeah, you know, just because it's like, you know, it's not you. It's like Gal Gadot and Snow White. Like, I feel bad. You know what I mean? She knows it's not her, but doesn't mean she wants her project to
Well, you know what?
So.
It's just fair. She's going to torture us with her acting, then Rachel Zegler can torture her with her presence.
Leave Gal Gadot alone.
Never!
Yeah.
Khalel!
She seems lovely.
Enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh,
I'm not saying about her acting. She just seems like a lovely person.
I like her, but she's
I like
not a
her
good
person.
actress.
Yeah.
Remember, she's the one that subjected us to Imagine.
I know. That's one of those ones I have to just.
I
have
thing
to
ever.
defense of her because that was not her idea. She wanted to just do it, and then her manager was like, "Oh no, wait, I've got a great idea," and that blew it out into the thing. It was just going to be her singing a.
I mean,
clip
that's
of it.
cringy enough. I love her.
I know
It's
exactly,
cringy
but
enough,
it's different though. It's different though because
it is
that is misguided. Like, she thought it would have been nice, and then we all would have gone, not really. But then you turn it into, let's make it a thing. Like, let's make this go viral.
We Are the World.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of times those videos with multiple celebrities, they're all represented by the same agents.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. CAA.
Unbelievable.
That's where all the politicians are going, and I laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I check Deadline every day, and it's like, Joe Biden signs with CAA. Kamala Harris signs with CAA. And I'm just like, great, I know where JD Vance is going next.
Trish, your thoughts on this? What are the optics like of her hiring a CIA operative to handle
ridiculous,
PR?
Ridiculous. And also, it's just kind of like, even if you're like, okay, she should hire somebody, CIA operative, talk about it just sounding so wildly blown out of proportion. Like, she's trying to correct it to such a ridiculous degree that it's another blunder, honestly. It's just, I'm actually a little impressed at her ability to keep just shoveling that hole that she's got herself in deeper and deeper. Like, you think at some point anyone would turn around and go, no one has.
Think about it. She hired the bad guys in every movie ever to be the people to handle her crisis.
I'll be right back while the two of you cook on this.
It's like, what is happening? And you dragged that silly little simp down with you because
you know what? No, he's as much to blame for his problems at this point as she is. You know what I mean?
I'm actually kind of enjoying people being like, oh wait, there's blood in the water. I'm gonna start telling the truth.
I've noticed that there's little, it's actually, he wasn't that nice after all. I hate it because I love Just Friends, and I'm going to not let it affect my deep, deep love for that movie.
I wonder how much of this at this point is trying to keep themselves from losing $500 million in this lawsuit because they know her career is toast.
Oh,
I actually, so I don't really have a pony in this fight. I kind of don't even care or really know all the details. But with that, the latest thing I saw was like she's trying to get the judge to shut out like make sure some things don't leak because it's like texts about other celebrities. So like to me, I feel like they're fighting this really hard because if they lose and Justin gets all of his way, even if Blake's right, there's going to be some awful shit that they said in those texts and in their messages, and they're going to burn every single bridge that they have in Hollywood, and that's just they're not going to weather that.
And remember, Taylor Swift is already involved in this.
Yes, this is one of her dragons.
One of her dragons, my Khaleesi.
Wait, whose side is she on?
Blake Lively. They're like best friends.
Then Blake is completely correct.
We have to protect Taylor Swift, you're saying, Spence?
He doesn't want to get attacked by the Swifties.
No, I want to support my girl. She can do no wrong.
Right, Spencer.
Oh my God, you are a Swiftie? Is that what I'm hearing right now?
I like Taylor Swift's music. I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie.
I don't know. You're leaving her
embrace
like
it and be
Swiftie,
proud.
Spencer. Well,
If being a Swiftie means I rock out to freaking 1989 every weekend when I'm getting ready, hell yeah, I'm a Swiftie. I'll go to those stupid shows where they watched the movie concert and like sang out loud.
What the hell did I just walk?
Hell.
You walked into us discovering Spencer's a Swiftie, but
how is this discovering? I talk about how much I love her all the time.
This is the first time I've ever heard you talk about her.
Let's think about this. Spencer's a single man, and Swifties are out there.
I don't want them. Are you kidding me? They're insane.
He would know.
Travis Kelce finally beats it.
I exclusively date blonde white women. I know exactly what they're like.
Spencer,
you need to date Taylor Swift. You need to date Taylor Swift, and then when it blows up in your face, she can write a song about you.
That's fine. I don't. It would. Joke's on you, Martin. It wouldn't blow up in my face. I would make it work.
Yeah, you're the one that could tame.
I am. I know I am. I'm confident enough in myself. With my big dick out on the table right now, I know that I can change her.
What is with this?
We went there.
Oh no. Yeah, so what is the Khaleesi thing, by the way?
He sent I can't remember, I think it was a text message to Justin Baldoni, essentially like, I am Khaleesi and I have my dragons, and her dragons are Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. It's just like, okay, like.
Yes. She referred to herself as the Khaleesi.
Mm-hmm. Which in itself is just like, thank you.
Absurd.
In what universe is Taylor Swift her dragon?
In Blake Lively's universe.
Hers. Yeah. Like,
because
you're not on the same level.
Well, she did unleash Taylor Swift upon him in a very passive-aggressive, indirect way. Yes. So, maybe she has a little bit of a point.
I didn't realize that Jake Gyllenhaal had dated Taylor Swift, and that's why
he did.
Oh, yeah, that was like a long time ago. Yeah,
I didn't know.
That was early.
I love Spencer.
That was Taylor
Swift.
I enjoy Spencer knowing absolutely everything there is to know about Taylor Swift. This is my favorite.
Wait, is there a song about Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh yeah, Tears on My Guitar.
Oh, it was that one.
Yeah,
I was thinking that was him.
I know she dated Loki.
I think we should. I'm just saying.
She did Loki. She did John Mayer for a while.
The John Mayer
one.
She
dated that guy from the 1975? Was it that band?
Oh yeah,
I
got it. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, Matt. Whatever his name.
Yeah.
Whoa, Trish! What's that face you're making when you're talking about that band? I love that band. What are you talking about?
I know nothing about them. It was more I didn't know if I had the right band. So.
Okay, just making sure.
Curiosity and disdain share the same facial muscle.
I don't really care. You can have them, Nolan. I'm not gonna begrudge you your 1975 band or whatever.
Thank you. Don't hurt me like you did with Green Day.
Listen. You deserve.
If you want to listen to Green Day, you can have the time of your life. How many high schools had that as their senior song in the late 90s?
Everybody to this day still has it, man.
Meanwhile, the title of the song is
still do it.
Good Riddance. I'm just saying, everyone thinks that it's like this wistful song. The happy habit. I don't want to get us demonetized.
Another boy to fuck stuck in the road.
But it's,
I'm sorry, Trish. Were you doing the Alvin and the Chipmunks cover?
I don't care enough to try to get it right.
As Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 said we can dodge the copyrights.
Well, I don't know. Joe Armstrong puts on an accent that he doesn't have when he sings. So
He's got a lot of things he doesn't have. I don't know what that means. He just sucks.
just lay it out there.
Oh man.
But
so
yeah, I forgot where we were going with that. I don't know. Spencer took us into Taylor Swift dumb. So
guess we'll have to shake it off.
I was just about to start singing it. I was looking for my damn it, Nolan.
Boo.
Get on my level.
Nolan flexing.
You will fight me for her heart, Spencer.
Well, let's go. Mountaintop sword combat.
Wait a minute. We have two.
Make sure there's fire.
We have two people fighting for Taylor Swift's affections on this phone.
No,
this is fascinating.
She's not a big booty Latina.
Yeah, I thought Nolan was big booty.
That's a good point.
What is her ability?
Blondes are my backup, brother.
There are blonde Latinas.
That's true.
Oh my God, you're right.
I know.
Logs off. We don't see Nolan for like a week.
I know what Kevin's saying though. Like, what is her ability to take these guys that enjoy women with rather ample posteriors and woo them into loving her? Because Travis Kelce.
I don't buy this Travis Kelce thing at all.
You know.
I just think
Please, no. Covered with scorpions. Covered with scorpions.
No. Covered with scorpions. Get them off me.
What are you doing to my head?
So I clicked that by accident while I was.
Why?
I clicked it by accident while I was scrolling, and then I was like, oh, "I'm just gonna let this play."
Oh, this is it me or is this stream a little bit like off its axis in like a really fun way?
I don't know. It's the most profitable stream we've ever done, though. So
Cha-ching!
Everyone's loving it.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's.
So since Nolan has now discovered blonde Latinas, do we expect by next week he's moved to southern Spain?
Oh no!
All of a sudden, get a message. Been working out with my time. I moved.
No, he'll be like, yeah, I'm moving to. I don't. What is even a city in Spain? I don't even.
Barcelona.
I'm moving to Barcelona,
Mainland.
and then we talk to him like next week, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here in Barcelona. I don't know where all the blonde Latinas are at." And we like find my friend, and he's in Barcelona, like Tennessee or something, like Barcelona, Kentucky. Like, all right, you made it.
Barcelona,
Got the
Tennessee.
cowboy hat.
No, but he'd be like, "Guys, I'm here in Barcelona."
Yeah, Barcelona. Yeah, they don't have a weird list. That's just how they talk.
There are many
You know why?
pickpockets in Barcelona.
Do you know why they talk like that? I heard that like the king of Spain at one point had a lisp, and so all the people just started talking like him.
Oh, really?
I genuinely didn't know that.
That's something
believe
I
it.
heard in like high school.
Now you're terrifying me because it makes me think about what America would be like if everyone started talking like Trump or something. That scares me.
I mean,
Well,
we all
you know,
kind of do.
You guys know the Hallelujah chorus, the Hallelujah, Hallelujah.
Yeah.
So when
Classic.
you play the Hallelujah chorus, everyone stands up. And the reason for this is because at some point they were playing it in like it was either an opera house or a church, and the king had a cramp in his leg. So as they started it, the king stood up for the cramp, and everyone looked and saw him stand up, and the entire crowd stood up. And since then, everyone stands for the Hallelujah chorus.
I enjoy learning that Nolan has the spirit of a 16th century king before when he's like, you put their heads on a pike and you make an example of them. Like,
Right?
all right, Nolan, who were you in a past life?
I was just gonna make
Well,
fun
Kevin-
of them forever, but okay, we can go to violence.
Well, Kevin keeps bringing back the medieval insults to people. I've been calling people peasants lately. It's been great.
Oh, I bite my thumb at thee all the time.
Pox on you. Fie on you.
Pox on your house.
You can only say fie if you're Scottish. They're like, it's Tuesday.
Yep.
Fie on Tuesday.
If we say it, it would be fee. It's fee on Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh my
Thanks, Blake Lively.
Yeah, thanks a lot
He
for
took us
having
there.
this conversation. Yeah.
The best thing she's done in a while. Thank you, Blake.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. So guys, I'm going to give you a choice here. Do you want to talk about BlackRock? Do you want to talk about Superman, or do you want to talk about Shrek?
Shrek.
That's 6 of one, half dozen the other to me.
I just save Shrek for the end. Save it for the end.
Yeah. All right. The Shrek one is fun. So you know what? We'll go with Superman. How about that?
Body.
Oh my goodness. So, Superman test screenings continue to raise concerns as insiders are sharing mixed reactions on quality. The conversation surrounding James Gunn's Superman continues to be a roller coaster, as fresh rumors suggest that the film may not be shaping up as well as Warner Bros. Discovery and DC Studios had hoped. Hold on, I'm going to click this little link right here because we're going to read it from Burning into Comics instead. Jeff Snyder, who previously questioned the buzz the big summer release has been trying to generate, heard from an anonymous source that the film is not good. Snyder had recently reported good things in his newsletter, but soon after that was published, he was contacted by someone he trusts, and they reported the opposite. He says, I got a call from my best source after that newsletter. He said, great newsletter tonight. You got one thing wrong, and it's about Superman, which I continue to hear is terrible. He didn't go in depth, but he implied that he knows more than he lets on. Also didn't think Gunn is being entirely truthful, which could be due to the director's dismissal of the Daniel Radcliffe Clayface scoop as absolutely false. Good or bad, Warner Bros. Discovery and DC Studios are bringing in a marketing strategist to consult on Superman. According to the Wrap, they have hired Ricky Strauss, who has worked with Apple TV, Marvel, and Star Wars. No word yet on if he is a CIA agent. But with 30 years in the film industry, Strauss has also led marketing campaigns for such movies as Moana, Frozen, Maleficent, The Jungle Book, and Cinderella. He also oversaw, that's a lot of Disney stuff, also oversaw the production of An Inconvenient Truth, The Help, and ironically, Waiting for Superman. And there he is, Tony Khan, Clark Kent. So guys, how do we feel about the fact that people are not loving this in the potentially in the test screenings? Like, this is what we had heard about Captain America: Brave New World, and we saw how bad that movie was.
I kind of actually don't care. Like, here's my thing. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days, actually, because of the story. Like, you will, no matter what movie's out there, you're going to have somebody who likes it and who doesn't like it. So I don't know who Jeff is talking to. I don't know who is talking to Cosmic Book News or any of these places. So at this point, it's just people going, I like it, I don't like it. I'm just going to, I'm going to engage with it, and I'm going to see if I like it or not. I really don't care about whether the critics like it or the fans like it. There's a lot of stuff I love that is absolutely terrible, that I know is terrible, but I still have an enjoyment for it. So yeah, you're depending on who you talk to, you'll find somebody who says it's good. You'll find somebody who says it's bad.
I want this movie to be great.
I do too.
I really do.
And it has to be great. Well, it really has to be. It has to be great, because if it's not, then DC is just done. They can't do this again.
And I also want a comic book movie I can take my sons to and not feel awkward.
Yeah.
I want Superman to be practically G-rated with violence. That something uplifting, something happy, something pro-American, pro-family, pro-heroes.
What do you get from and this is my curiosity, because obviously you're coming into like those movies with like a different angle with your kids. What do you say is, or like, what are you finding in the more recent movies that you don't like for your kids? Again, different perspective.
Well, like, so,
and it's a genuine curiosity. I'm not trying to argue. Yeah. Like, I really want to know.
No, that's what I figured. So, like in Endgame, where they were joking about Captain America's butt and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I get butt jokes are funny, but lighten up the language a little bit. Then again, at the beginning of the MCU, we had Tony Stark with strippers on his plane. So it's not like it's always.
But that was also counterpoint to that. We were shown that was sort of the wrong thing, though. Like, that's that was true. Not the lifestyle you should be pursuing.
That's true. But it is awkward to sit with your 5-year-old.
No, I totally get it. I'm just being a butt.
No. But you're right. In order to see growth, you have to see failings. That's undeniably true.
Yes, absolutely.
But the thing is, Superman can't have failings. Clark Kent can. Superman can't.
Yeah. I might disagree with that.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
On that a little bit too.
Yeah, right. Like, I know what you're saying, but I don't. I think is still, that's part of what Superman is, right? Like he is the Man of Steel, but he is still human, and that's what connects him, even when he has the S like shield on. So like he'll struggle, he'll lose fights, he'll lose people who are close to him.
I don't mind him losing and struggling.
Yeah. He means struggles. Superman. What works about Superman, which also happens to be the thing that people who don't understand Superman say makes him boring, is that Superman is the adult in the room. He has he doesn't have typical person failings. He's the ideal. So he should not be being tempted into cheating. He's not.
Oh yeah, in that sense, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No way. No.
Yeah, Superman can fail, and he needs to get up and try again.
Yeah,
that's Superman.
But yeah, I don't want a skeevy Superman. I don't want a Guy Gardner Superman. You guys are, now I know what you guys are saying.
And, right. and I don't want Clark Kent coming home unmarried to Lois Lane and jumping in a bathtub with her. That was inappropriate.
To be fair, there was absolutely nothing sexy about that scene anyway, but I know what you mean.
Nothing.
It was more just like, you're in full clothes. I hate that.
In their claw-footed bathtub from the 1950s. No, I mean I agree. Look, but I've also heard good things about like the test screenings. Like I heard somebody say like, oh, it plays like it feels a lot like the first Wonder Woman and Guardians. And I was like, okay, well, I like the first Wonder Woman. I like Guardians. Like that could be fun. And they said that I've heard Rachel Brosnahan is great. I heard Nicholas Hoult steals the whole thing as the definitive Lex Luthor.
Ooh, I really hope so.
And I heard also somebody said this made me scratch my head a bit, because they said Corin Sweat's Superman is reminiscent of Brandon Routh. And I said, but Brandon Routh's Superman was just reminiscent of Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it then be reminiscent of Christopher Reeves?
We're three categories of reminiscent at this point.
It's like when you make a copy of a copy of a copy and it starts getting streaky.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. There you go.
I bet that's what the problem is, though. And I feel like they put this guy in a pretty bad spot, because like even when I watched the Shaquille O'Neal spot where they're showing him the costume, and it's like, this costume does not look good. I don't care what shine you try to put on this costume. It is a bad costume, and you cannot sell people Superman in a costume that isn't believable. Even the George Reeves costume looked better than what we got now. And I
back
feel
when
like
being muscular meant you were fat. Hell
yeah.
Looks better than the Steel costume.
Out of shape, in shape guy from the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pick this fight, pal? I'm waiting for you to exhale.
Yes, yeah. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for you to exhale. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll take you.
So yeah, I feel like I think the problem was going to be with Superman himself, and maybe not so much the movie. I mean, because we know James Gunn knows how to tell a story. We know James Gunn knows how to entertain. We know James Gunn knows how to juggle a lot of people. But I think where he's going to have a problem is he just has a certain style and sensibility that might not jive with Superman proper. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it's
a little too irreverent.
Yeah. Like listen, Richard Donner took it and understood, hey, we have to take this seriously. If this costume doesn't work, if the actor in the costume doesn't work, all of this is for nothing. And I feel like the mindset was, well, we don't want to exactly do the Reeves costume. We have to move away from the Man of Steel costume. So we'll do the New 52 costume, but not make it look like what the New 52
like armored, yeah.
Yeah. But now you're kind of stuck, and it's like, and I'm just of the mindset of just do the bloody costume. Like, just, like people understand what they're jumping into. It's, so,
yeah, like they know it's super. You don't need to go there and be like, this is a super realistic thing that you would see every day, because like we know it's Superman. Like,
can any of us think of a director who could do sincerity and also do action?
Well, I'm sorry, sincerity and what?
Action.
What was the name of the director who did the first Captain America? I can never remember his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
I was literally just going to say him. I was going to say him and the Russos because they did the Captain America movies, and the Captain America movies which showed us that you can have a wholesome, Boy Scout character and have it still be compelling. Because that was Chris Evans and Steve Rogers. And I've been screaming it for years that DC constantly wanted to make Superman this angsty, angry, or he was either angsty and angry, or he was like weird and spying on Lois Lane, with the X-ray vision through her house. I maintain that the best Superman that we have had in the modern era has been Tyler Hoechlin, because Superman
love
Lois,
him. Sephiroth. Yep. Sephiroth is the greatest Superman. He was so good.
Did you close out the show? Have you finished
I have not.
it?
I haven't had the heart to finish it yet. I know I
understand
have to get to the end of it.
I know that feeling. So I'm not even going to judge, and you take your time, but just know there is some awesome stuff in there.
When I watched it, I felt like it ended like, what if John Byrne wrote Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow?
Yeah. Dude, Kevin, the scene so you finished it?
Yeah.
Okay, the scene I'm thinking of that I want, that I was going to tell Marvin about, the diner one.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody go watch that scene for yourself, but holy moly.
My favorite diner scene is the one where Jonathan's girlfriend's dad got a little too rough with Lois, and he goes to the diner and he's like, we need to step outside. And you got to see him just stick up for his wife and his kids.
You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this then.
I think the greatest moment in the entire show for me thus far has been when what was the name of the Lex Luthor that wasn't Lex Luthor, the one from the season before?
John. I mean it's Steel. That's who it is. That's how I just remember him.
No, not John Henry.
Morgan Edge?
No. The evil guy. Not in the season before Lex came back, or the season where Lex came back.
I know who you're talking. I have to look it up. It's not.
Well, his wife ended up. Yeah, his wife ended up being radioactive, and she was going to explode and take out the city. And Clark just grabs her and flies up with her. And as he's flying up with her, and she's about to blow up, he's literally saying to her, you did good, you took care of your family.
Yep.
And I was like, that is the most Superman thing I've ever seen in live action. He's consoling her as he's flying up with her, despite a lot of crap that she done. I thought the show was going to lose me a couple times, when Lois got breast cancer. I was like, oh, what is this going to be? But it was done. It was done with such care and such nuance. I also love that it was never Clark and Lana got a little too close one night and he kissed Lana or something like that. They never went there. Clark and Lois never had a marital problem.
Well, they did, but they were the good, normal, healthy. You didn't tell me about this. We didn't communicate. You're shutting yourself off from me. The conversations you should be having, with your loved one. But yeah, like you're saying, Marvin, there was no, infidelity or, I'm intentionally going to hurt her. I'm going to keep this hidden and I know it'll hurt her and I'm going to keep it. There was none of that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the show is just fantastic. It's, I thought I was going to get annoyed by the kids. Never got annoyed by the kids. The only thing I would ever say against the show, the only thing I'd ever say against it was we spent a little too much time with the Lang family.
I thought that was weird. I got what they were going for, but yeah, we didn't need all of that time in season 2. We could have maybe cut that by half.
I don't care about I don't care about Lana's baby daddy and his new girlfriend, who was also the reporter at the thing. My favorite thing though was that reporter lady. It was the never meet your heroes kind of situation where in the first season she's like, oh my god, Lois Lane.
Lois Lane, yeah.
And then in the second season she's like, Lois, what the hell have you brought down on my head this time?
Yeah, you are I don't know if it's worth it to keep you employed. I liked her a lot. I actually that. She was one of the characters where season 1 we're shaky. I don't know. You got to impress me here. And we introduced her and I went, please don't turn this into a Felicity, right? Don't make her the super smart linchpin to Team Superman who solves.
Yeah.
I was so afraid, but then they handled it.
They broke, and I was they broke the mold. They never made it Legends. They never made it Arrow. They never made it Flash. And those shows all kind of followed the same
formula. Well, until Legends went off the deep end.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about with Legends?
Well, in the beginning, Legends
when they
kind of
started fighting
followed the formula.
Giant Bebo or whatever, I was like, wow, what happened here?
The people who worked on Legends realized that the CW did not give two craps about them and were not paying attention to them at all, and they went, "We can do whatever we want."
And like I can respect that, but I also know like it sucks that we didn't get like a final narrative. But they did really shaft that. I know, and they really did shaft that show, and I liked it a lot.
Its blessing was its curse. The fact that no one cared about it allowed them to just be absolutely insane, but it's also why they didn't get a conclusion. So,
all right. Anybody else have anything they want to say about Superman?
It's not totally about Superman, but you were talking about the show and how they never really had marital problems, and it kind of reminded me of Friday Night Lights. Connie Britton talked about how she and Kyle Chandler went to the writers and they were like, listen, you are to never have them get a divorce. They are going to work through everything and they are going to be a solid unit. We will not do it if you break them up. Like, it was really important to them to show that relationship. Like, it was one of those things where like, you're not going to do it. We won't let you do it. And they didn't. Coach Taylor and Tammy Taylor were like, they would sometimes butt heads, but they were thick as thieves the whole show. And it was really nice, honestly.
But it's kind of like the Turk and Carla on Scrubs. They got together in the first episode and they never broke up. That was one thing I loved about Turk and Carla. Like, they had rough periods every once in a while, but Turk
like
and
you
Carla,
do.
they worked through them. And I always loved that about those characters. All right, moving along. Let's see what we want to talk about.
Moving right along.
I don't feel like talking about Captain America box office again. It's not doing well.
It's bad. There we go. We've spoken about it.
Okay. Saw it coming, right?
It sucks.
So, an MCU executive has denied rumors that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to reboot after Secret Wars. So this is Brad Winderbaum, who is the head of Marvel Studios streaming, television, and animation. And he has said, I'm trying to find his direct quote. He downplayed the likelihood of such a drastic overhaul when asked about the idea of a full reboot. He dodged giving a definitive answer and offered a perspective on why reboots. So he says, every time there's been a full reboot at Marvel or DC, it always feels like you can't really fully reboot anything. The classics always come back around. While this comment doesn't rule out major changes, it certainly suggests Marvel may not be looking to start over from scratch. I don't think Marvel needs a full-on reboot. I think they need a soft reboot. I think you have to reshape the universe after Secret Wars to get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four on this earth. And you could take that opportunity then to recast. You can bring in a new Steve Rogers. You can bring in a new Tony Stark. You can change out people that have to be changed out. Is that
not a reboot though? Like to me, when you're saying we recast all the actors and we introduce all the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, I'm like, that is just a reboot. You literally said we got to remold the universe.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, you have to do something because you have to get the Fantastic Four onto the main Earth, and same with and you have to have the X-Men show up. Adamantium was just discovered in the MCU. That means Wolverine wouldn't even exist yet.
It's so stupid. They
it makes me so mad.
Painted themselves into such an unnecessary corner. Again, I think I've said 1,000 times on the show. What was the point of the 5-year time jump if it wasn't going to be to introduce the characters that but seriously, listen, I still go, Endgame should have had a bumper where Fury's on the plane and he says, I'm going to make a stop over in Westchester. Why are you here? Go do something.
X-Men? I want to talk X-Men.
I'm gonna go stop. I'm gonna go stop at in Westchester to have a conversation with a professor named Xavier. And you could have introduced the X-Men. You could have shown Latveria on a map. Not everything needs this super mega grandiose thing. The Fantastic Four could have gotten hit with the cosmic radiation during the initial snap. Like, there's 4,000 things you could have done to massage everybody in, and then use the 5-year gap. Like, oh no, these guys were floating around. They just were occupied during the final fight. Instead we had to do this multiverse nonsense, and now you're kind of stuck. And it's like, well, the Doctor Strange mom, it was fun to see, to see different things. I want to turn you into a and now we're just kind of stuck, and it's like, fine, you can reboot, but also to just accept actors need to be recast. People understand. Like, no one, like people get it. Like, Batman is, Michael Keaton Batman was still Val Kilmer Batman. Val Kilmer was still George Clooney sort of ish. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Just
I know what their problem with that would be.
Look like soap operas.
There's been no break. Yeah. There's been no break. Like, if there was a block of time that they should have taken an Endgame, do some sort of new version of Tony Stark with a new actor, it would have been hard. Because did I freeze out?
A little bit.
Okay.
You glitched, but you're fine.
It would have been hard, but there would have been that space, and I think would have eased into it. But I think there's been no break. So to me, like, as this normie person, I'm looking at going, no, like, Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he really
That's
did
the
make
world
that
you
his
have
own.
me in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or
with the exception of the Hulk.
Well,
with the exception of turning Ed Norton into Mark Ruffalo.
And I didn't even see that one. It was like one of the ones I didn't see. So to me, it's always been Mark Ruffalo. But I see your point.
Right, but Rhodey too, Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Rhodey.
Yeah.
And they just steamrolled through that.
President Ross.
Well, that was because somebody died, but yeah.
But do you know what
died?
I gotta give it to Harrison Ford. He did not pay one iota of attention to how William Hurt played that character. He was just like, I'm just gonna go in there and do my grumpy old man thing.
I say this all the time about like Harrison Ford. Love the man, one of my favorite actors in some of the best roles of all time. Nowadays, I hate like when he's attached to a movie because he does not want to act anymore. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be here. And like we all might like laugh too, like, yeah, we don't want to see Brave New World either. But watching a man like try to promote a movie when you know he just does not care still saps like what tiny remaining interest, I wouldn't say excitement, but like interest you might have in anything. Because then I just go, he doesn't even like it. Why am I going to like it?
Was it last week I said something like, I respect that he's retired from acting, but he keeps appearing in movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, the he is the epitome of just like you know what you're getting. Grumpy old man who's afraid of magic. That's it. Get the ass out of my house. Get out of my house.
What is that, an iPod? Get it out of my house.
You know, the other thing I was thinking of you talking about, I feel like I'm in a different mental track than you guys, but it's because you were saying about they didn't.
Because you're smarter than us.
That's right. That gap, we didn't use it, you could have eased everybody in. I almost wonder if they were kind of like, well, how do we explain why the X-Men and the Fantastic Four were missing from everything? So we have to introduce it now because we have no way of explaining how all of these heroes wouldn't be there, but then they went and did the Eternals. And it's just kind of like,
I didn't even realize that, Trish.
And where were they for this whole fight? So it's just kind of like, I feel like they almost make more problems in something they might possibly think is a problem. Like, to me, that's just how it feels. Like they thought of like, this is a problem. How do we explain this? And now you've created about 90 other problems to try to fix one problem.
Every time they try to explain something like retroactively, it just goes, but wait a second. Like
now
where
you created this other question.
Right. Like in that period of like Iron Man 2, 3, Winter Soldier, Guardians, I guess that would be phase 2, Ragnarok and all, or not Ragnarok, but Dark World. I always felt like all of those events were big enough to draw the respective attention of whatever event. Like, okay, the elves are invading London, so that's going to get Thor, but Thor is going to be able to fix that and solve it before any of the other Avengers are going to be able to show up. And from the things we see, Steve is dealing with freaking S.H.I.E.L.D. being super corrupt. He's not going to have the time to run off and do a crossover fight. And that all worked. And I was able to go, that's why the Avengers don't get together. Cool. Now they're all just like, what were you doing these last 5 years? Oh, I was on a beach. Okay, we've had a lot of things we could have really used your help with, like the Eternals.
Like,
did you all miss the giant celestial that popped out of the earth?
Like even Captain Marvel, where they just had to have her be like, well, there's other planets that need me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
They don't
that
have
was
you
because
guys.
if you keep her, you don't have a movie.
Oh no, I get it, but it was
I
just
know
one of
you
those
know. I know
things
you know.
where
I'm just like, it's hilarious.
Right.
Well, you might have a movie, but it's not going to be entertaining.
I mean, that's already what we
very
got.
long.
Twice.
But yeah, that was just a thought that I had. So you're welcome.
No, it's a good thought, Trish. I like that thought.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we've got some more super chats to get to because the people have been incredibly generous. John Williams, 499, says, I think Ian McDermott said he'd like to think ugly form of Palpatine was what he actually looked like. The other was a disguise. Yeah, there was a there was an EU comic book called Synthesis that involved Palpatine doing like with the Kyber crystal.
Dumb. I love it.
I know. He was doing some kind of it was like gross Palpatine doing like a Sith ritual with the Kyber crystal, and at the end of it, it turned him into Senator Palpatine. Like it was something he was routinely doing to hide himself,
like always re-upping. I like that. Yeah.
I liked that idea a lot because the dark side is such a corrupting force. JPS for $2 says Riff Tracks is doing Time Cop live. Tony Khan must love that.
Is Time Cop
Protons
favorite movie of his?
Time Cop is Tony Khan's favorite movie. He does his cringy promo at every AEW show before the crowd, and he goes, "Here we go, it's like time. That's really cool. It's kind of like my favorite movie, Time Cop." It's the weird. I'll just send you a video of it sometime. we discovered it on Tooney Talk Wrestling. Like somebody said to Kevin, like, he talks about Time Cop all the time, and then people started posting videos of it after we brought it up, and so.
Yeah, someone sent me the exact speech he gives before every show.
Yeah. Packing Protons for $2 says Marvin. Yep, Jonas also has to go to Snow White. Yeah, that's what I thought. Liquid Fox for $2 Canadian says, why doesn't Kevin get a re-intro? Oh, when you came back. Well, because he's not interrupting the show like Trish. Trish demands the full attention, and she demands that moment all for herself. Tyler Galsinski member for 6 months. This is, I'm on my DuckTales marathon. I only have the villain team up, and we're on the same side left to go, and my collection will be complete. Oh, Glomtails. That's a great one where the villains team up. Oh God, like life is like an evil scheme here on Glomtails. It's a really good episode. Sharks.
They actually do like a full parody of the song.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
Glomgold's scheme in that episode is he's putting together his own family because the reason why Scrooge keeps beating him is because he has his family. So he tries to find a person from the villains that each one can match one of Scrooge's people. So like for Launchpad, he gets Don Carnage. For Gyro, he gets Mark Beeks. For Beakley, he gets Ma Beagle. For the boys, it's the three Beagle boys. So yeah, he does a whole. For Webby, it's who was it for Webby?
Magica?
Magica. It was Magica. Yeah, Magica was Webby. And that's where this clip comes from. The one with
Hey, we can't all make declarations of hatred at the same time.
Because when they arrive, they all start trying to cut their own heel promo on Scrooge. Tyler Galasinski for $4.99 says, was there a specific reason why we didn't get more Disney characters to visit on DuckTales beyond Donald Duck? I don't think so. Like they had Goofy. Goofy pops up in his Goof Troop outfit, and we get the Mickey watermelon. But
you get the extended Gummy Bears reference.
You get a Gummy Bears reference. You get the Rescue Rangers in their entirety. You get Darkwing Duck. You get Kit from Tailspin. You get Don Carnage. I mean, there were plenty of crossovers in that show.
Yeah, but you get Sad Kit.
Yeah,
you get Sad Baloo Kit. Yeah, I didn't love that either. But JPS for $2 says the free hat episode was making fun of Lucas RMs. Making fun of George Lucas's. Okay, that makes sense.
Free hat.
Yeah. Regina Sharp for $5 says guaranteed Disney is looking for too much, and that's why they can't sell. We have with Star Wars probably. Tyler Galasinski for $4.99 says I raise your idea, Regina, and think that you have that. They said you have to keep KK if you bought it, like how TNA said they had to keep Dixie employed. That would be something. Regina Sharp for $5 says watches Powerpuff Teen trailer. The horror. The horror. John Williams said this felt like this felt like some edgy teen parody of dark reboots that a CW found and tried to make real. Virginia Sharp 5 says, "Don't worry, Nolan, we'll beat the optimism out of you."
Oh,
Backing Protons for 5 says Marvin didn't return the slab. Also, how about Kevin as Johnny Bravo in a remake? Can you do the voice? Can you?
I think I can. Come here, Mama.
Man, I'm pretty.
Like Elvis. You sound like Elvis?
Yeah.
Yes,
that's how Johnny Bravo sounds.
Okay.
Oh, Johnny Bravo's I love Johnny Bravo. That show was really funny. Back when cartoons had teeth. Tyler Golicinski for $9.99 says, "I will admit I will watch Snow White, but for Gal Gadot, not Snow White, and everything come on screener, they should play the one every time she comes on screen, they should play the Wonder Woman music. That would be something." John Williams for $4.99 says, "The only beloved child icon to ruin is American McGee / Madness Return Alice." Tyler Golicinski for $5. "Don't want to forget Dobby voice takes a knee. Glory be, Mistress Trish is here. Hello, Nolan."
Looks at Nolan.
That voice just makes me want to enslave them. It's on them.
It's unsettling, isn't it?
They really ask for it, right? Like literally.
That's what I'm saying.
Talking like that, those voices.
They're just asking for it. Regina Sharp for 5 says Triple H goes, "What's Blake Lively?" Don Williams for $1.99 says Spencer is a fan of Jeff Jarrett's Babysitter. Yeah, that's true. Taylor Swift babysat
affordable
Jeff
services.
babysat Jeff Jarrett's kids, and that's why Tony Khan keeps trying to get him to bring in Taylor Swift to AEW.
Do they even remember? Does she even remember them?
Apparently they're close. Apparently they're friends.
Oh,
Regina Sharp for $5 says, "Makes sense. The Khaleesi got herself killed and killed one of the dragons by being an idiot, and only one survived. Guess which one Taylor is." That actually does make sense. Anthony J says, "Since Kevin is a huge Masters of the Universe fan like me, question is for Kevin, what is your favorite classic episode? Mine is A Problem with Power."
Ooh, A Problem with Power, which was, according to the writers, the episode they wanted to be the final episode, because that episode is pretty deep. I don't actually know. I think the one with the creeping horror actually is one that I really enjoy. That one has always stuck with me from the first time I saw it when I was a little kid. Probably because it's got a horror movie element to it. Skeletor, it's like, so Evelyn does a disguise, and they trick these farmers into thinking that that King Randor is responsible for some kind of drought or some kind of destruction, and as punishment, they release this thing called the creeping horror, and it's this like blob entity, and what it does is it traps you and essentially suffocates you to death. And
interesting.
I dated a fat girl too. Why are we bragging about that?
Kevin.
It's such a good joke. I'm sad I didn't make it. It's the episode is them running away from this horror movie creature while He-Man is just fighting everything under the sun to get it back. So yeah, I just love He-Man in general.
I know you do. Regina Sharp for $10 says there are. Go ahead.
Because I gotta appreciate anytime that He-Man pops up on She-Ra, one of the female characters just gets insanely thirsty.
Regina Shaw for $10 says there are 50 ways to fix your universe. Just work off the snap, Jack. Follow Stan's plan, man. Don't need to discuss much. Just grab a cosmic key, Lee. Get your heroes free.
I really respect the 50 ways to lose your lover reference there. That's great.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
Did you work on that one, Regina, or did it just flow out?
It just flowed out. I've never even heard of the source material that you're referencing.
You don't know the Paul Simon song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover?
No, I do not.
Well, you had the cadence down like you knew it. In the
whole, that's good. That was that was what we call a happy accident. All right, so I want to close out with something kind of lighthearted here.
You beat me to it.
I want to close up with a little lighthearted. Shrek Donkey at Universal Studios Orlando mocks the Shrek 5 trailer to guests. Quote, "Donkey looks homeless." So, have you guys seen the? By the way, Nolan, is this popping up on the screen for people?
Yes, it is.
All right,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
So have you guys all seen the Shrek trailer? Shrek 5 trailer?
Yes.
No, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible. It's been getting mocked widespread. The animation is different. Zendaya is in it.
Of course. So it was
50
must have
seconds
pictures of-
long, people. It wasn't that bad.
She must have pictures of every producer.
Yeah, so Zendaya is Shrek's daughter in this. Yeah, it was, and they made jokes about all the Shrek adult material that floats around the internet and haunts the darkest corners of them. So the hype for Shrek 5 has taken an unexpected turn as the highly anticipated sequel trailer is getting roasted across the internet. But the latest round of mockery isn't just coming from social media; it's coming from inside Universal itself. The performer voicing the animatronic meet and greet version of Donkey at Universal's theme park recently took jabs at the Shrek 5 trailer in front of guests, openly expressing his disappointment over the animation quality. Here we go. Let's watch it.
Even though your husband refused to come out, he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to get questions about the new trailer. And how old are your children again? Because I'm going to be honest, Felicia looked 15. Did you guys watch the new Shrek trailer?
We did it. We did it.
Just saying, look rough.
I look
rough. That's why you always get final approval for all your film and movie rights.
So there you go.
Is that guy like ready to quit in a blaze of glory or something?
I don't know if Universal is trying to lean into the fact that making fun of this has kind of become a meme, or if this guy just went into business for himself.
I mean, I kind of enjoy it either way, but it just felt
First
very
of all-
much like I'm just going out guns a-blazing and I'm just going to say all of this stuff.
First of all, I would like to say that is a really cool character meet and greet.
Agreed.
Yeah,
With that donkey talking like that. Shrek is usually out there
really
with him
cool.
as well. But hold on, let's watch it one more time because you just got to get everything that he says in here.
Come out. Even though your husband refused to come out, he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to get questions about the new trailer. And how old are your children again? Because I'm going to be honest, Felicia looked 15. Did you guys watch the new Shrek trailer?
We did it. We did it.
Just saying, look rough. He looks homeless. That's why you always get final approval for all your film and movie rights.
Oh my gosh.
Those
I love
feel
it
like
so
Eddie
much.
Murphy jokes.
They do.
Like tapped into his brain from the 90s. Yeah.
They do. And the guy sounds just like Eddie Murphy too. Like they really do a good job with that.
Are we sure it's not Eddie Murphy back there behind you operating the puppet?
There's just something about the way he says, I'm just saying, Donkey look homeless. That doesn't feel like it's scripted. It feels like this really bothers the actor.
It's so funny. I'm so glad that went viral. I hope the guy didn't get fired because that was Disney. That guy would be fired real fast.
I mean,
But-
isn't that kind of that's what those meet and greets are in Universal, right? Like I know the Megatron one, that one's always like smack talking everybody. I know it's not
Yeah.
taking shots at the boss, but it gets some more sensitive crybaby guests would definitely go,
Well, I
Megatron,
think the Megatron lines are if I'm not mistaken, I think the Megatron lines are pre-recorded.
Are they? I don't. You guys are the theme park experts. I thought they were. Look at that theme park magic. They made me think it was completely live.
I think so. Unless I've never met Megatron there before. I've met Optimus, but never Megatron.
We just haven't found a time to get lunch, but he knows I'm around.
Yeah, no, we work off different schedules, Megatron and I. But yeah, I mean that Shrek trailer is not great. I mean the animation does look kind of wonky. Then again, we haven't seen very much of it. The second I saw Zendaya was in it, I was like, oh, all right, here we go again.
Can I come in with a hot take for everybody here,
please?
Because I do not understand the hate this trailer is getting. Because let's take Zendaya first off. The original movies brought in people from SNL, Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy, popular people at the time. Zendaya, there are girls who idolize Zendaya. There's a reason why she's huge. And it seems pretty on point for Shrek. And they're making fun of, the Shrek memes. It's debatable whether the joke was on point, but for crying out loud, Shrek 2 was making fun of the OJ trials. Like, all this seems like stuff Shrek would do to me. And as someone who really has a lot of respect and admiration for the first two movies, the second one in particular, with how genius the humor was handled, I don't really get why 50 seconds of the video. I can understand the animation changes a little bit, but because we're afraid they might cheapen out. But I'm just like, it just seems like typical Shrek to me. About on par with like in between 2 and 3. 3 and 4, might have stumbled a little bit in quality, but this seems about right for making a Shrek comeback because the memes were kind of the elephant in the room. It was keeping them relevant for a long while. And let's not forget too, the memes were probably a lot of the kids' first introduction to Shrek, and they want to get the teenagers in there too. So
kind of like that joke. It's kind of like that joke I've been seeing a lot lately, where people are like, "I straight up don't know what JD Vance looks like anymore." Like, I don't know anymore. With all the edits and all the jokes and memes of his face, like people are going, "I have no idea what he's gonna like." Show me a real picture of him. I wouldn't be able to tell you. And it's exactly that, right? Like, they were exposed through memes, so they have no idea what the actual Shrek is.
Shrek 2 has got a joke, a gag that makes me cry laughing when I see it.
Which one?
And that's Pinocchio. Say something outrageous like, "I'm wearing women's underwear." "I'm wearing women's underwear." "Are you?" "I certainly am not." And then the nose grows. And then Gigi comes up and goes, "It's a thong." I laughed. The first time I saw that, I fell out of my chair laughing. I thought it was the funniest.
That's kind of like blue for a kids movie. I feel like.
Oh my god!
It's ultimately a kids movie. Am I right? Like, I don't know.
And I love when they're fighting the fairy godmother and she's shooting the magic all over the place, and she hits Pinocchio by accident, and he turns him into a real boy, and he's like, "I'm a real boy!" And he goes away. He's dancing, and he goes, "I'm a real boy!" And then he gets hit again. He gets turned back into a puppet, and he goes, "Oh."
Your comment about it being a bit blue for a kids movie. Shrek, the OG movies, have all the stuff that parents would be complaining about, except they're too busy laughing as hard as the kids are, if not harder, to complain about it. It was just too genius.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I'm a little surprised because it is ultimately a kids movie. I'm like, wow, just bringing out women's underwear. Okay.
Yeah.
It had balls, girl. That movie had balls.
Martin, have you seen the new Shrek trailer?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
It is just crazy busy at work.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's about everything. We got a couple more super chats to get through. JPS with $5 says Shrek in general is trash. The song All Star deserved better. Oof, that's shots fired. Packing Protons for $5 says, I liked to save Skeletor with the blob thing from another dimension. Don't you get tired of being good? Is that a Skeletor line? It sounds like a Skeletor line. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yep. I'm sorry. Yes. If you wake that baby up, you won't see tomorrow.
Packing Protons for 5 says maybe the bad animation on Shrek was a plan to advertise Epic Universe's donkey trashing it and getting people talking. Well, that donkey is in Universal Studios proper. That's in the new. There's a new DreamWorks land, which is actually really nice. In the very front of it, you've got a Shrek area where they have a snack bar, they have that meet and greet, and they have the kings. They have all the frogs out by the king on the lily pads, and they have these lily pads on that you could step on, and they make noise. Like the frogs will ribbit in like a certain like tone. But one of them said, of all the frogs, which there are probably about like 10 of them. One of them says bud, one of them says wise, and one of them says and you can hit the 3 of them. So, which my wife was like, I don't get it. What's that a reference to? And I was like, really?
Nostalgia. It doesn't know that.
She didn't know about those commercials, apparently. Tyler Golosinski for $4.99 says, what redhead did we sacrifice for Zendaya to be in movies? This is becoming bad comedy. What's funny is Shrek's daughter is a redhead. So, yet again, Zendaya. Regina Sharp for $5 says, no, Ian, you and your optimism and bright sides, cease this, embrace the pain, let your hatred flow. The song lyrics, maybe. Oh my goodness, and that is everything, guys. Guys, thank you so much. Tonight has been just such a huge stream. I mean, I've been calculating as we've been going along. We made $1,055 tonight.
Cool.
Nice of everybody.
Yeah, wow, just insane. Oh, so it was LAN. There's no LAN. Oh, okay. No LAN. You and your
You can blame me for it
side.
if you want.
Embrace the pain. Let your hatred flow. Like the song lyrics, maybe. I don't know. I probably didn't get the cadence right this time. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. This has been absolutely amazing. Spencer Bercouli, thank you for being here tonight, buddy. We love having you here when you make your appearances. When
I
you're
always
done,
want to be here. I miss you guys.
when you're done hanging out with your cooler friends. But tell the good folks where they can find more about you and everything you're up to. Yeah, got
it. No, guys, as always, you can catch me on boundingintocomics.com. We're putting up news every day. You can catch me over on my channel at Kabuto Studios. And then you can find me hanging out in whatever chat Marvin happens to be on so that I can annoy him, even if it's his wrestling streams.
You did pop into that the other night.
I watched the entire thing. I just don't ever have anything to say because I don't know what I'm talking about.
You don't know what we're talking about.
I'm trying.
I know you're trying. Martin Stone, what can folks find out more about you and everything you're up to?
Well, my X handle is there on the screen. We do a members exclusive show, Trish, Nolan, Hangry, and I on That Park Place, the channel, The Lost Guys. We talk about lost media. We talk about old stuff that we find interesting. And finally, it's being made available outside the members exclusive on the T3PO channel. Episode number 1 is available as of tonight. And it is a show from the 90s you may or may not remember called Viper that was built all around the Dodge Viper.
I look right at Kevin because I always know, like 99% of the time, he's going to know what it's about.
Think Knight Rider with a car that changes shape.
Interesting.
And Nolan, thank you for putting that up in the chat. It's a link to the episode.
Oh, fantastic.
No problem.
Nolan, tell the fine folks at home where they can find more about you and everything you're up to.
Well, I would this would normally be the time where I would, plug my video game mysteries documentary series where I talk about urban legends and all that stuff, Lost in Files at my YouTube channel at Nolan Thunder. But you know what? I want y'all, if you got time after the stream or want to put in the watch laters, please check out what Martin was just talking about. The Lost Guys, the first episode is on T3PO, as he said. And you got me, Hangry, and Martin in there. We're talking about all sorts of forgotten, obscure, and lost media. And Trish will be joining us after a few episodes, too.
Eventually.
So it's public now. So everything Martin just said, please check that out because we love doing the show, and it should be coming out pretty consistently here. So if you like hearing our rambles, please check it out.
Oh, and I forgot to mention this. We pay attention to the comments. So if you've got any suggestions, put them in.
Awesome. Trish, what do you got to plug this week?
Well, these two fine gentlemen covered Lost Guys. Obviously, I am here on Thursdays. Crime and Punishment, members exclusive. It's been between how much it takes on me and then Marv obviously not feeling well. We'll get there.
Yeah, so I think we're going to do one. I think I'd like to do one next week if you're free.
Okay, we'll work it out. Like the Beatles thing. We can work it out.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time and place.
And then, the occasional surprise run-in on Tooney Town Wrestling.
Yeah. Trish joins us a lot of times for our live WWE pay-per-views. So we are not asking her to watch AEW with us. Don't even try. It's not going to happen.
It would, no.
You wouldn't like it, and plus it's a $50 pay-per-view, so we're not asking you to spend money to actually do this.
No.
So, no, we're just going to continue on where you can use Kevin's Peacock like everyone else.
Use what now?
We'll stay in.
Kevin Apollo, tell the fine folks where they can find more about you and what you're up to.
I don't know. Come hang out with me on the Twitters. Other than that, I'll be back here on Tuesday. And we've got to watch Daredevil. So I'll be with you on Tuesday. Then I'll jump over to the pro show on Tuesday. Then I don't know. Be back here on Thursday and just floating around, having fun, liking life. Yeah.
And of course, guys, for me, make sure you're checking out Tooney Town TV. Now that I am feeling better and on the mend, we are going to kick off videos again, probably starting on Monday. So just give me a couple more days to just kind of get my my bearings back around me, get caught up with a lot of the work that I missed yesterday. So I appreciate everybody for super chatting tonight and for checking in on me and being super supportive while I was ill. Make sure you check out Tooney Town Wrestling as well. We're currently writing the next episode of Headlock Headlines. They're long scripts, so it takes a little while to write. And of course, even longer to produce. So, that'll be dropping on Patreon before it drops to the public, as well as I believe we are going to be doing some classic WrestleMania watch-alongs for specific WrestleMania matches leading up to WrestleMania. That's also going to be on the Patreon exclusively. And of course, guys, thatparkplace.com, become a VIP member for just $5 a month. You get exclusive articles, you get member badges that you can use in your comments, and of course, the That Park Place VIP exclusive podcast, which we are going to be recording a new episode of tomorrow. That will drop on Saturday and every Saturday thereafter. So thank you guys for joining us today. From all of us here at the Tooney Town Channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!
Now, Betty the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator!
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you! Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you!
I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what?
Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooney Town. Thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.